Here we come. Yeah, baby. Welcome to Wednesday. It's Patrick and the people, of course. Amanda here from the break room. What up?
Oh, good morning. I'm just trying to figure out my life real quick. No
No,
big
it's
deal.
all right. You're gonna sort it all out during this 2 hours.
Yeah,
right here.
absolutely.
And of course, Rich Rockwell is here. What's up, buddy? How
Yes,
you doing?
sir. Good morning.
How's it going, Mr. Unretired?
It's going, man. I'm enjoying
Did you-
unretirement.
Did you miss his retirement?
I did. From
That's-
from what?
It was so short. That's
Oh, from commentating your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little ticked that he wasn't at the revenue office with you. I figured that.
I know,
would've
right?
been
That would have been gold, wouldn't it?
Of
That
course,
would have been gold.
one or both of you might have gotten shot. So.
here to contemplate all of his life's decisions.
Yeah, that's right. Man,
Did he take the right number?
you said that was doing pretty good over on TikTok. A lot of people were commenting on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there was a few comments, just people saying that it was hilarious and
That's
they
good.
really enjoyed that. And
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
think
do
we're
some
gonna have
more
to
stuff.
figure. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to figure out how to do that more or something.
No, I definitely think we can do some other things.
That was a fun day.
It was a fun day,
That
man.
was such a fun
You
day.
could hear everybody laughing in the background.
Oh, it was so good.
stupid.
It was so
you know?
good. I love the guy that was like, "Man,
Yeah.
y'all playing on people's phones. We got stuff to do."
Yeah. You calling a place of work.
You
he
going to
said.
place of work?
Yeah, he was pissed
He
off.
was pissed. That was the DG, wasn't it?
Yeah, you know Dollar General, how they roll.
Yeah.
DG.
No, they're not playing around.
They're
man.
hardcore.
Dudes
They're
out there
very
trying
committed.
to unload a Coca-Cola truck, mad as hell I interrupted.
Yeah, and packing at the same time because it's closing and opening at the same time.
Yeah.
My favorite's still the hotel lady. Like I could just listen to that over and
remembers her
over.
training.
Champ, bro. She was a champ. She
Yeah.
was like, you're
She
not going to
remembered
break
her
me.
training. It was so good.
So I guess it's supposed to
Yeah, we're supposed to get blown
be
off.
stormy today,
It's supposed
allegedly.
to be Arkansas.
But that also, I heard that yesterday, and that didn't happen either.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
So it does say, looking ahead, severe weather storms expected on Wednesday, heavy rain, and the potential for flash flooding through Friday. So, but it also says today, sunny skies warming to the mid 70s, increasing clouds by evening with rain showers and thunderstorms overnight. So those are back-to-back paragraphs.
Okay, so
So I guess maybe later tonight it's supposed to roll in. I don't know.
no, it's supposed to roll in. Timing is anywhere from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Yeah. I love that.
Well, that's a little
That's
bit of
like
a
your
broad
Comcast,
range.
Yeah.
Like the Comcast.
Yeah, that's right.
is written.
Cable guy will
Am I-
be there. Well, what
Am I
time do I
getting
need
cable?
to? What time should I take off work? I said
Yeah.
the cable guy will be there.
So
At what time do we get in the closet with the pets?
Yeah, right.
11 to 2 a.m.
it looks
Yeah.
like it'll be on we'll say the western side of Arkansas from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. is when to
Allegedly.
pay attention.
Allegedly. It's
Allegedly.
days like
For-
this that I miss my
For
my
central to
husband-
northern
my husband.
Arkansas, it's supposed to be 3 to 10.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what happens about that. How's things at the break room going?
Are they breaking?
That comedically?
Oh man. Well, business is fantastic. People are wonderful. We have had so many just great people come through the door that are like, we needed this and whatever. I did have a girl yesterday, a woman yesterday that I'm a little concerned she may have broken her finger.
Oh.
I don't know if she's watching or listening, or I'll reach out later and see if she's okay. But when she came out, the nail was already like black right there. It's like,
What'd she do? Hit it
yeah,
with a hammer or something?
something.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what she
I'm
did,
sure
but
they sign waivers.
I was just about to
absolutely.
say.
But
No, absolutely.
It would be worth a free trip for you and your friends to come back
Yeah.
and not beat yourself up.
Absolutely. No, I want to I was thinking about offering a little,
Like a little care
yeah,
package.
a little something.
Yeah.
Maybe something from, the places next door, a nice, refreshing beverage.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
some fizz pop and
a
maybe.
lovely gummy or,
Yeah, hit her up with some pain relief
some
the other
Delta
side of
8,
you there,
yeah.
Abbey Road.
You should make a shirt for people that do that. That say like, "I raged too hard."
We're working on shirts. I'm
Yeah.
actually working with Trivia Marketing. I love the folks over there. They've got,
Yeah.
I mean, there's usually not a minimum on the stuff you order, at least with shirts. The products are fantastic.
Where are they out of? In Little Rock?
Yeah, they're downtown
Okay.
Little Rock, kind of over there by Doe's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
okay.
whatever shelter that is over there, and
yeah, I
the
got you.
Guatney Collision and everything.
Yeah, I
that
know
little
where
pocket
you're
right
at.
there.
Yeah.
So they're fantastic. So I'm working with
Okay.
them on some really sick
I think
shirts.
I know where they are. I think I know exactly where they are. because I think probably about 6-7 years ago, that guy called me that owns that place and said, "Hey man, I've got an old T-shirt press that we took apart. It's all wood. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." And I use that to make several things actually. Because it was so cool, I had paint or ink all over it, different colors.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool wood.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's knock out a little bit of news here. TikTok, days away from going dark. The president preparing to host a meeting about TikTok as the deadline for the ban draws near. You know the story on that. We'll see what happens. So far, it's still here, right?
So there's another.
Yeah, well, they
Threat
only
of a
postponed it. Yeah.
Oh, they postponed it.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna lose
now
their
they're gonna
minds again.
Circle back around, but you got Clapper
That's
now.
not going to
Right.
happen.
You got Clapper.
Are they really going to get rid of the
I don't know.
TikTok?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, never mind.
So let me ask you, Rich, do you love Cheez-Its?
Actually, yeah, man.
You do. How about you?
Love them.
Okay. Well, how about
Extra
I like that
cheesy.
snack mix cheese.
Cheez-Its and
Oh, yeah.
pizza, baby?
Nah.
That's right. It's coming to the store freezer section soon. Cheez-It is going for God mode with the release of Cheez-It pizza. The frozen pizza hits the store shelves soon, and will feature original Cheez-It flavored cracker thin crust. So there you go.
Did either of you ever try the Taco Bell Cheez-It thingy that they did?
No, I didn't. I did not. I have had what I'm sure everybody has, the Dorito taco.
Yeah,
shell.
my kid loves those.
Yeah, they are pretty good. I'm not
mean-
gonna lie. Let's see. Brad Pitt is going to be starring in a follow-up movie to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tarantino wrote a script for the new movie. He's not directing it. David Fincher will do that, but Brad Pitt will be reprising his Oscar-winning role as stuntman Cliff Booth in the new movie. They say it's not a sequel, but is based on the film, and Leo DiCaprio may return as well. The plot of a classic sitcom: someone sticks money in a household item and it gets donated to a thrift store. Mildred, that's her, Simon Luto, 76, said she bought a Pennsylvania Cash 5 ticket at the Shop and Save there in Murraysville back in 2024 and matched all 5 numbers for $2.5 million. When she went to cash it in, she realized she had left it in the pocket of a jacket she donated to the Vietnam Veterans of America.
Oh, no.
The jacket could be anywhere. The charity doesn't track purchase. The deadline is May 8th. Needless to say, she's kicking herself for the error. I'll tell you who's kicking themselves, the person who pulled that out of their pocket.
And tossed it.
That's
Yeah.
trash. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's talk about this for a second. Val Kilmer
Ugh.
is passed away at 65 years old. The actor famously played, obviously Doc Holliday.
yeah.
He played Batman. He played Jim
Iceman.
Morrison in The Doors. Yeah, Iceman in Top Gun, real genius. Heat, The Saint. His daughter shared that he passed on Tuesday due to pneumonia. He was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014. Now, what happened to him, a lot of people might know that, his face became disfigured.
Yeah.
And he had cancer of the throat and the tongue, and he went completely holistic for a while. He wasn't using traditional medicine because he thought he could overcome it, and it unfortunately resulted badly in that case for him. But he met his future wife, Joanne, on the set of the film Willow, which he was really young.
Such a good movie.
It was a great movie,
Oh,
actually.
I forgot about that. That's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. No, man, his best roles to me were number one, Tombstone, which is to me the greatest Western ever, and then as Jim Morrison in The Doors.
I have to agree.
Yeah, he was man. He sang the songs in
He
that. He did
did.
all that, man. It was pretty phenomenal.
And even the band said that, it was hard for them to tell.
Yeah, the difference.
Yeah, the difference. I mean, he was so committed to that role, and I mean, still, even some of comparing photos of him and of Jim Morrison,
Yeah,
you
it's
have a
wild.
hard time.
It's wild.
That is
yeah.
such a good movie. I honestly don't know a better. And this is just, I mean, I've had limited movie viewing experience, but I mean, he's the best adaptation of a
musical star.
absolutely. In my
It's pretty
opinion.
great. Yeah, I
So
would say
good.
so. I don't normally trade in celebrity gossip, but I just wanted to say rumors were swirling about Sydney Sweeney being with Glenn Powell and dating him, and I guess her mom had to come out and say she wasn't. But listen, you don't need her mom. I'll tell you, when Sydney Sweeney stops calling me, she'll be dating somebody, okay? I'll let you know when it happens. Don't worry about looking into all that news. Just
Who?
It's okay that you don't know. It's okay that you don't know.
I know.
Let's
I tell
see.
myself
Bump
that
your
every
head at
day.
the DMV yesterday, man?
I might have.
Slamming it up against the wall,
If
waiting.
you had been there with him, maybe he wouldn't have.
Maybe, yeah, that's right. If you could have been there to announce me.
Rich.
Sounds weird.
Boy, this was firing. The internet spiced up a little yesterday. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty for Luigi Mangione. They plan to seek the death penalty against him. You know, he murdered the CEO, Brian Thompson. Well, I don't think we have any say-so, to be honest. I don't know what'll happen, but that's what they're doing.
Okay.
They're asking for it anyway. Boy, this is not a good promotion for a cruise. The Cunard Line Queen Mary 2, over 200 passengers and crew members have neurovirus.
Ew.
Yeah, can you imagine? They had 224 passengers, 17 crew members reporting symptoms like vomiting and diarrhea. Can you imagine how funky that ship got?
Bro, there's no way the plumbing could have kept up with that. Can you just imagine?
Do you remember when that happened on a ship?
Yes.
I was on that ship a year later.
Why?
Well, I didn't know until I was there. I didn't know I was on the turd ship.
Dude. I was going to say, did you get like a sick discount or
No,
something?
they literally, that one, they had a crazy toilet issue and it all backed up on the floors.
Yes, it did.
Do they have Dollar Generals on cruise ships?
No, there's nothing cheap.
Just
No,
need that guy there with the
Oh, yeah.
5-ply toilet paper.
Yeah, the 5-ply.
5-ply.
That would have done it.
I need that 5-ply.
It's for
It's
juicy.
Juicy.
Changes are coming in the AI department at Meta. Apparently, their AI research person stepping down, somebody stepping in. Who gives a shit? Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes and his wife and brother surprised his mom, Randy Martin, with a brand new home in Texas. She shared her excitement on Instagram, calling it a blessing, posting photos of the new house, said it was the surprise of her life, and expressed gratitude to her family and grandchildren.
Listen,
Yeah.
he's in Texas.
Yeah.
If he just wants to drive up here, like,
get-
I've already got a realtor. Come on,
Yeah.
man. We can
Hey,
talk. You
we'll
can buy
do
me
it.
a house, too.
We'll do it.
Right.
We'll do it. Let's reach out to him.
Let's get your people in touch with his people.
We'll see what we can do. An EF3 tornado destroyed the Missouri home of Darby and Trendle Russum, scattering their belongings, including photos from their wedding in 2003. One of those photos was found 100 miles away by a winery owners, Bonnie and Doug Herman, who shared it online and quickly connected with the couple. They returned the photo along with $300 donated by winery customers. Well, that $300 will go a long way. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
You brought that all the way a picture. You just mailed that and said, "Hey." Marilyn Manson has announced the second leg of his One Assassination Under God tour. That'll start at August 7th at Buffalo Chip in Sturgis, South
I thought you were
Dakota.
going to say Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, right. That's where you think he would be now.
I was like, I can see that.
Yeah, no, I mean it's
Boneless wings.
in other news. Marilyn Manson still performing.
Right.
Shit.
Right, you know.
Looking like the dude from Grandma's Boy.
You're right, he does.
Like, just a little bit of-
Yeah, that's funny.
We watched that the other night.
That's a great one,
It's
man.
such a
That
good
movie slept on.
Man.
Jack Black has released "I Feel Alive." It's a rock type song from a Minecraft movie, but it has Mark Ronson on the bass, Dave Grohl on drums, Troy Van Leeuwen on guitar, and Roger Manning on keyboard. Not the first time, apparently, fans have heard the song. Apparently, he debuted it back on Twitch in March. So, do you like Jack Black? Y'all like him?
Yeah.
I mean, the few movies that I've seen him in, yeah. But,
No,
like,
he's real funny, super talented guy.
yeah.
No, I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, he can be pretty funny.
Yeah. I noticed that Dave is only showing up behind drum sets these days.
Yeah, Dave's just trying to stay out of the fray
Yeah.
from his scandal.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But apparently they've, she said, Dave, I would leave you, but
You got too much
it's a pretty
money.
good life, and I'm
Right.
going to stick around. And
Right.
I will screw your friends, though. Just know
Damn
that.
straight.
It's coming.
Yeah.
The masseuse, yeah, no, that's it.
The pool boys.
That's right, definitely. All of them.
All of them.
Same time.
time.
Yeah. CinemaCon, the source of some movie news, the biggest drop came for John Wick fans. After much speculation, a fifth John Wick film has gotten the light. It's the biggest news, not all the news. blind assassin Kane, who was introduced in John Wick 4, will get his own standalone film. And finally, an animated John Wick prequel's in the works.
No.
Keanu Reeves will lend his voice to that as well. I'm trying
So,
to.
okay,
So
how's-
how does John Wick 5 happen? Is this a? I'm very curious to see what's going on because my understanding was he was dead at the end of 4.
Right.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe there's something we've missed. Huh? They figured it out.
He
There's gonna
re-entered the
be-
Matrix.
yeah,
and
there's
it
gonna be
rebooted
some
him.
sort of
and
crossover.
now this is the next
Listen,
simulation.
Trinity.
I could make an argument that John Wick is Neo in the Matrix.
So, did you ever hear the conspiracy theory
I'm about to
about
Google it.
how Terminator was actually a prequel to the Matrix?
I could also see that.
And then, yeah, so go with that.
also see
You're
that.
you're on to
I could also see that.
yeah.
Shane Gillis, his show Tires, has gotten a second season on Netflix. I absolutely love Shane Gillis, and unpopular opinion, I think this show blows. I think it's balls, not in a good way. I don't like it. I think it's weak. Maybe it got better than the first 3 episodes I watched, but I do love his stand-up, and if you're not watching it, you should. He's pretty damn funny. Last year, LeBron James declared Christmas Day as our day in reference to the NBA traditional scheduling of games on the holiday. The NFL's 2 games that were also scheduled on that same day. TV rating audiences showed that they showed up in droves to check out football and dwarfed the draw the NBA had. Now the NFL's upping their quest for Christmas Day dominance, reporting this Christmas there'll be 3 NFL games scheduled. See what happens when you run your mouth, Leopard? You don't own diddly squat. The NFL said, yeah, hold my beer and watch this shit, you know? Again, NFL owners tried, they're trying to get the tush push out, right?
Right.
But for the moment, it's alive and well. Yesterday, voting on a proposed ban was tabled so NFL owners could discuss it further. The idea of outlawing the play was originally proposed by the Packers, but support had grown to 16 teams. Among the rule changes they did approve, kickoff touchbacks will now see the receiving team get possession of the ball at the 35, which hopefully results in more kickoff returns. Replay assist was enhanced. Now the on-site replay official will be able to reverse flags that are thrown for hits on defenseless players, fouls for face mask, horse collar, tripping, running into or roughing the kicker. Replay won't be able to be used to enforce an obvious foul that went uncalled. Each team will now be guaranteed a possession during the overtime period in regular season games, and a proposal to make playoff seedings based on regular season records as the guiding principles. So those are the new things. Yeah, I don't think you should be able to ban the tush push. I think that's silly. I think find a way to beat it.
Well, yeah, we were
Find
talking
a way,
about that yesterday.
Find a way to beat that play. That's just a good play.
Which just occurred to me, man. Like, you've been doing a lot of stories on, tush pushes and asses and people and
don't you
notifier, and
settle
I'm just,
down
I'm
over
just
there.
I'm just saying.
Here,
Seems to be a
You
theme
need
with
that.
your.
you need that. On X,
Touch the butt plug.
Richard Sherman has posted a security video of the armed robbery that went down at his house while his family was home. He posted screenshots of the intruders, asking anybody with knowledge to come forward. He also made it a point in the post to credit his wife for handling the situation masterfully.
Did she
as
shoot anybody?
Kept the kids safe. No, I mean, they robbed them and at gunpoint. So, what?
I'm always intrigued and kind of, I don't know, baffled of how the celebrities get armed robbed,
Oh.
are in there like some massive
Well, you would think maybe,
gate
I don't know.
that even, you've got to pass 14 points of security even to get into the neighborhood.
Well, Richard Sherman's a longtime player. You would think he would be A, in a gated community, and B, probably have some security, but I don't know what people do or don't have.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not sure.
true. I'm being presumptuous.
No, I mean, I was sketch about the Kardashian robbery.
Which one?
Well, right. All of them, any of them, I don't know. Yesterday, those dreamers who still want to believe Tiger Woods can seriously compete on a professional level were sucked into an April Fool's joke played by the golf legend. On X, he posted that doctors have him ready to play in the Masters next week after he ruptured his Achilles and has been sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber. 6 minutes later,
be
he posted
careful.
again saying he was just kidding, that his Achilles is still a mess. Yeah. No, Tiger may never get that elusive final win that he wants.
Probably not.
The closest he's come in a decade was tied for 38th.
Damn.
You know, he's still Tiger Woods, though. Don't get it twisted. He's still very, very rich and very, very good in his life. So you don't have to feel sorry for him.
Not at all.
He's
Does he have
doing
any
all right.
more games? Are they still doing Tiger Woods games?
They are.
Oh yeah,
They are.
They'll probably. It's like Madden. That's going to go forever.
That was one of our favorite things to stay up after
yeah?
the bar and the club, just stay up all night
Oh my God.
playing Tiger Woods.
Yeah, Tiger Woods is fun. All right, let's see what.
I don't know if I
like-
want to read these comments.
Oh,
No?
no, I
Why?
am. I'm reading them. Little doggy's just little doggy.
Let's see. I like tush pushing. Brandon said that's good. Good morning, Brandon Jacks. Let's see what else. Yeah, we're gonna have Brandon and some folks from a big fundraiser coming in the 8 o'clock hour that I think everybody's gonna want to get behind. It's a really important thing, and you're gonna be interested in it. I'll get you some more information here in just a little bit. Do want to mention that if you're looking for some kind of vehicle, whether it's a car, truck, SUV, sports car, minivan. They've got all those. Do they even make minivans still? If they do, Fitz Auto has them. Let me put it like that. And you're going to get a good deal. Listen, you don't have to worry about tariffs on used cars, okay? So it doesn't matter what That's right. Buy a used car, save yourself a lot of money anyway. And if you're worried about your credit, hey, they got you. They're their own bank. So go over to 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock or fitzauto.com online. What you said you had something over there?
Well, yeah, so we had Dustin Bundy. He said, bro, I was off Facebook for 3 days, come back on, and Rich done retired and came back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The unretired.
That stuff happens
Rich
around
Rockwell.
fast around here. By the way, shout out to Sharon Bauman. She was on earlier.
Oh,
She
Sharon,
said, she said, not again to the TikTok ban.
Oh yeah, no, I know Sharon. She's fun people.
But you had mentioned Brandon Jackson, and
Yeah.
we've been commenting back and forth, and he had said, when I was telling you about, you've kind of had a pattern with your stories here.
Yeah.
He said, well, you're an ass man. And I said, I'm saying, that's why I'm kind of worried for my safety over here.
Oh
He said,
yeah.
watch out with bending over. Your eyes did kind of trail that way.
Yeah, no, keep it up, guys. That's cute. It's real cute. You two, don't you go to the gym and pump each other?
What's up, Sean and Sean and Scotty Thorpe? They were just saying. Scotty Thorpe said he's seen Jack Black on the Tonight Show, saying his first job was an advertisement for Pitfall on Atari.
Oh wow,
2600.
that's wild. Yeah, he's one of those guys that is such a massive threat on many levels, as far as from acting to comedy to music. Jack Black, even though he's kind of a rock star, so to speak, with Tenacious D, if he had not wanted to be a movie star and just wanted to be a rocker, he could have been one of the greatest of all time.
I think that's where it is
No, he
with
really
Jack
could.
Black.
Absolutely.
Like, I like the acting, but the Tenacious D side of it,
You don't love. But he
no.
does have an amazing voice. I mean, it's one of those
Yes.
power, old school metal voices.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were speaking of some backdoor action. So I
As you
thought I was-
grab the butt plug now,
Yeah.
man. Look,
So-
I'm moving over here.
Yeah, why don't you move? Why don't you move out that door right there and sit on the other side of it till I call you back? No, listen, this is really interesting, and I'm sorry to all the guys out there because this is exactly what you get. Two Illinois guys identified as M. Brunner and J. Fry have filed a class action lawsuit against OnlyFans. Now, why? They allege the platform misled users by allowing third-party management agencies to impersonate content creators in subscriber communications, which means the person a user is chatting with, not the one they're seeing in the pictures and videos all the time.
Shocker.
Wow.
This shattered illusion of getting to talk to a pretty girl has led plaintiffs to claim the practice violates their terms of service and deceives users seeking, quote, authentic interactions. The contract does acknowledge that third parties may assist creators with their accounts, but the lawsuit says the disclosure is insufficient. Well, yeah, nobody's going to pay to talk to the assistant of the porn star. Okay? Nobody wants to talk to, I mean, you don't even know who it is. What it
Chat
could be
GPT.
That's what I was gonna
It
say.
could be Chat. It could be a 60-year-old lady stirring
Damn
oatmeal on the
straight.
phone.
That's how it's always been, bro.
Yeah, no,
Walk it off.
that's hilarious.
Did you really think you were talking to some hot blonde,
Well,
20 something
sometimes
when you
they're on
called
video.
the 900? Oh, well, good for
So
them.
you're talking about like a live video,
Guess
Yeah,
what?
they were
That's-
chatting.
That's a
and instead it's
premium-
just
That's a premium subscription.
Yeah, if you're chatting with them,
afford
you're just
that
typing like DMs and stuff.
oh.
Yeah.
So
no,
it
of
could
course
be
not.
AI. I mean,
Yeah,
it really
it
could be.
could.
It could be that. Yeah, that's funny. Now, this is one other thing that kind of goes hand in hand with that I thought is a great story today, which is this is in Germany. Police were called to the largest city in the German state of Mecklenburg, and they sent their homicide unit out, a forensic team to set up floodlights, a 3D scanner to provide recording of the grisly scene. A drone was launched, and an undertaker was called in. The charred remains of a naked, unidentified woman was very frightening. Everybody was freaked out. Well, turns out it was a next-generation sex doll. Yeah, you may have heard of them before. They're called the real doll because they appear lifelike and they're not blown up. That's silicone, you know. The owner had apparently tried to set it on fire and throw it away. And so all the police, somebody reported it, and they thought it was an actual body and brought everybody out for this thing, man, only to find out it was a hump toy. How about that?
Okay, so remember the question posed on the socials over the weekend about AI and the direction it's
Yes.
going? That's my point. That's my point. What if this is one of those extra special like real ones where, you know, there's a little AI chip in there and it's, you know, becoming sentient and then it became all
Oh,
fatal
yeah.
attraction-y.
That's great.
And he had to set it on fire.
No, that's
Because
great.
it wouldn't stop coming.
Yeah, that's why we do other things here, like go to songs. We'll be right back.
See,
Last night was amazing, at least until it wasn't. I can't even remember what got us so bent. From laughing and talking to yelling and squawking, from I only wanna feel you to I only wanna kill you. How can we love so damn much? Can't wait for each other's touch, to have an absolutely zero patience, straight character assassination. Just this afternoon, you couldn't imagine life without me. Then how is it so soon? You can't stand anything about me. How can we love so damn much? Can't wait for each other's touch, to have an absolutely zero patience, straight character assassination. We went from loving out loud to surrounded by a dark cloud. Body passionate with sweat, to the worst we've said yet. How can we love so damn much? Can't wait for each other's touch, to have an absolutely zero patience, straight character assassination. It's straight assassination. But damn if I I don't love you.
All right, we are back. We are back. So, back to cars again. This. Yeah, let's play it safe for now. Amazon shoppers can now browse new Hyundais and trade their old vehicles online on Amazon Auto.
Just Hyundais?
Yes, the retailer,
Why?
well, they've expanded their lineup of cars for sale on the website. Now they have financing options. You can arrange to trade in your vehicle through the website. Pretty simple. You provide details about your old car, and then they'll tell you an estimated value. And, much like the other ones that do it online work, the Hyundai vehicle line available in select metro areas. They plan to roll it out all over the country, but if you purchase a car on Amazon Autos right now, you're eligible for an incentive, $2,300 in Amazon gift cards. Yeah, that rebate incentive is available on any vehicles purchased until April 15th. If you're not, you got to be a Prime member, I guess.
Oh, see, I was wondering where they were going to tie that in at.
Yeah.
You can sign up for a
So-
free trial.
So I had somebody call me from Texas Roadhouse, a manager from Texas Roadhouse call,
Yeah.
and asked about bringing in like upwards of like 20 of their managers and back of house and front of house and
Yeah.
everything for, some team building or whatever. And I was like, that sounds amazing. What's in it for me? Because we want to offer a trade. And I was like, okay, well, what's your trade?
Yeah.
And it is what they call trade bucks, which is basically Texas Roadhouse money
Oh, okay.
that can only be spent.
At Texas,
Texas
Texas
It's
Roadhouse.
like Coles Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I want to give you Coles Bucks. Yeah, I
And-
bet you
yeah.
do.
I mean, and then declare bankruptcy and shut down all the stores and
Hooters declared bankruptcy.
I saw that. How is that even possible?
I don't even know how that's possible, man. I thought every time I've ever driven by there, it seems packed.
Yeah.
But I
So
don't
wait,
know.
when we all go into Texas Roadhouse?
Is that your
Oh
question?
no! I told them I'd call them back because I'm sorry.
Oh.
My landlord and Energy and Bryant
They don't
Municipal
take-
don't
They
take
don't
Texas,
take Texas
trade bucks.
Trade bucks.
Yeah.
What's the problem? Why won't they? Did
you
you
know,
ask them?
I think it's part of their policy that they require actual United States of America
That seems ridiculous.
dollars.
That seems ridiculous, man.
I mean, you
That
know,
just seems ridiculous.
we
to
could
me.
write a letter. We could bring it up at a town hall or something, but I don't think.
Yeah, no, that's always great. I appreciate people that want to save money, especially when they're restaurants that make a gazillion billion dollars a day. I know for a fact that restaurant stays
Yeah.
packed.
I had another organization reach out to me about bringing some folks in, and they wanted below my nonprofit pricing. I was like, yeah, I don't give nonprofit pricing to for-profit companies, but
Why would I?
thanks for your inquiry.
Yeah. All right. All
Uh-uh.
right. Let's talk about states where you need to make the most and least to afford a home. This is a new report that came out according to a Bankrate study. And buying a new home now requires a six-figure income in 30 states and Washington, D.C. That's up from just 6 states in 2020. Both home affordability, but it varies widely, okay? So if you're hoping to buy a new house in the near future, a new study finds buying a home now requires six-figure salary in all these states. Said most would need an annual income of $116,000 a year to afford a typical home in 2025. That's a 50% increase since 2020.
Wow.
When the income needed was $78,000. Back then, homeowners in just 6 states and D.C. needed to make about $100,000. I could probably name those states. They're all on the coast. The typical home defined as a home at the median national sales price of $418,000. D.C. requires the most income to afford a typical home, almost $250,000 there. So the 10 states that require the most income, D.C. Almost $250,000, Hawaii $235,000, but it's Hawaii.
Hawaii.
I mean that's Hawaii, so yeah.
Everything's more expensive there.
Sure.
Right.
Fucking island.
California $213,000, Massachusetts $174,000, Colorado that's
Massachusetts?
the Rockies $168,000, Washington $164,000, New York 160, Jersey 160, Utah for some reason 151. Why, I don't know.
It's God's country.
And Rhode Island 144. So almost everything there was coastal. The 10 states that required the least income: West Virginia, Iowa, Ohio, Mississippi, Indiana. At number 6, here we are, Arkansas.
Whoop.
Yep, $73,000.
Go us.
Yeah, and that's pretty factual, because you can get, if you have an individual income of under 69,000, pause, you can get up to a $9,000 grant from First Horizon Bank. I know that much. With Josh Taylor over there, yeah, but our average isn't $418
Yeah,
a
no.
year. Our average is closer to about $325, $350 is probably.
And I was going to say, number 7 on that list, it said Michigan. You need to hit the BS button for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's not accurate at all.
No.
No. Are you kidding me?
A bullshit? A bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it's not accurate. You don't think? Okay. All right.
Dude, you like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo up there. Back in that's what my parents have. So back when they bought it, it was like 180,000. It's now like 400,000 for
Yeah.
that same condo.
No.
You're not buying a house
Well-
unless you're going into like the bad sides of Detroit maybe for 74,000.
Well, yeah, you probably could. Yeah. The good news here is prices are starting to settle. Prices have steadily dropped over the past 2 months, 2.5 months in houses that I've seen. So we're having a good reckoning of some of this pricing
Yeah.
that was going on for so long. So it's a good time. It really is a good time to buy a home.
Yeah,
with
you're
what's going.
slanging them. Every time I flip open the social box, there you are.
You know, I've been very
helping
blessed.
somebody, getting their new home or their next home or their
Yeah.
first home or.
I've been blessed.
It's
I'm not
beautiful. I
gonna
love
lie.
it.
You know, I like helping people, so it's really cool. I had posted this week the couple I helped. They got into their house. They spent
$200.
$2,000.
Oh, 2,000.
But that's
still that's ridiculous.
No, to get into
How does that
a
even
house,
happen?
that's outrageous. But again, they were working with First Horizon, and they were able to help them get that. So that's what I'm talking about when I tell you to go there, man. All right, Chapel Rowan, who is apparently a musical artist, I'm guessing, I understand, appeared on a podcast, Call Her Daddy, which is a very popular podcast. She offered some personal insights about having kids, and parents have a lot of feelings about it. So the host, who's Alex Cooper, asked if the singer wanted to have kids of her own. She said, "Look, all my friends who have kids are in hell."
Yeah.
She said, "I actually don't know anyone who's like happy and has kids at this age." Said, "I've literally not met anyone who's happy, anyone who has a light in their eyes, or anyone who slept at all." Some parents didn't. Some parents liked it. One mom said, "Yeah, finally somebody's speaking my language." Another one said, "49-year-old mom of grown children, you're not wrong." But a lot of people have disagreed. One said, "Look, having kids is the greatest honor of my life," or "happy mom of 3 here."
Right.
It's valid, but I personally don't know anyone who lost their spark after having kids. What do you think? I mean, both of y'all have kids. Truth, lie, what in the middle? Are you offended? Are you not?
Little bit of truth. I'm not offended.
God, no, I'm not
A
offended.
little bit of truth, a little bit
What
of,
do I
lie.
care?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there are obvious times, and I'm, full-time dad. There are those times where I'm like, oh my God, why did I do this,
Yeah.
But, I mean, the good times far outweigh those times. That's just part of being a person, I think, and a parent. I mean, obviously, my kid is going to piss me off,
Yeah. What about you?
No, I mean there have been moments where I have questioned having a kid, and honestly, it didn't have anything to do with like getting mad at him or he broke something or pissed me off. It's the fear.
Yeah.
It's the fear of watching him grow up. It's the fear of the first time he drove to Memphis by himself, or things like that. It's the
Mom stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would hope any parent would feel kind of some of the fears, just especially if you've got certain experiences in your own life where you watch your child make decisions that you're just like, oh, man.
Do you feel like that once you spit out a baby that you lost the spark in your eyes?
I mean, I had postpartum depression, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I felt very disconnected from my body, from myself, from my kid, from my entire family, and I didn't even know what was going on until years later. Yeah, I mean, for a while, absolutely.
But that was temporary,
Well, I mean,
right?
I would say I felt like I got my spark back after he got grown enough to take care of himself.
So you lost it that whole time? The toddler years?
Oh, God.
That's what it was?
Toddler years, I was getting sober.
Yeah.
I mean, and that just was
I was
a
gonna
whole
say,
cluster F
See, those were
in
the
and of
best years,
itself.
in my opinion.
The toddler years?
Oh yeah.
Okay. tell me.
Just watch it. Well, I mean, just for me, like seeing him, seeing as they grow into a baby and into a toddler and start walking and exploring, like the things that interest them.
How old
you
is
know?
yours?
Mine is 6 now.
Okay, that
But
makes sense.
yeah, so I'm still going through all those, first time, like when he was a baby and he loved seeing the garbage truck come for the first time.
When they're still in awe and wonder of the world around them,
Right.
And it hasn't crushed their dreams, and and they haven't hormones and puberty and
Oh, yeah.
bitches. I
Yeah.
mean,
yeah.
people.
You said
Yeah,
it.
we're still in the fun.
Well, yeah. I mean, I love that as well, and I miss that. I'm very nostalgic for it. I pine for
Yeah.
it at times. But I do absolutely love.
I don't.
No.
No?
I said sometimes. Sometimes.
I love
but
my
then-
kids, and I do look very
But I
favorably
love the
on
way
that.
they are now.
But
I love being able to have a conversation.
I don't wanna go
with my
back.
kid. No,
You
no,
didn't-
no,
oh.
absolutely.
Oh,
not.
oh, no.
Absolutely not. No.
I
And
damn
I'm
sure
damn sure
promise
not going to be
you
one of
that.
them grandmas where you can drop them kids at my house and biggity bounce. Bruh.
Yeah,
bruh.
I don't know. I may be that guy. I'm not sure yet. When I get there, I'll let you know. I can't call it before it happens. So
Wait, where we can just
gonna be
drop
getting
off
my
our
freak
kids?
on.
if
no,
you're-
that's right.
And you're
Everybody
gonna watch
dri-
'em?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't see that
Everybody-
ever happening.
Everybody, drop your kids off at my house. And see how
Patrick's
that
the new
goes.
babysitter.
Drop
Yeah.
them off at the maternal grandmother's house. I'm going to be getting my freak on.
I'm going to tell you what I used to do is just drop them at the fire department. That helped a couple
do that
times.
now.
Yeah, no, I did it before it was
Yeah.
cool, but yeah, I'm sure.
Patrick, a
Hey,
trendsetter.
no, they found him a good home. I understand, so I think
Maybe.
it's
Who
great.
knows?
Latasha says, according to that article, she says she is speaking part truth. Being a mom is extremely stressful, but not as
Yeah.
bad as she's making it seem.
Well,
Well,
I mean, Chapel doesn't have any kids, so she's
Well,
just going,
right,
she's
she's
going
just
off her
talking.
limited pool
Yeah.
of
well,
people to pull from.
But-
I mean,
and her friends are probably all, in fairness, entitled rich kids.
Well,
I'm
that,
being
and
honest.
like, I mean,
I don't
honestly,
know.
if
She's
I'm
from the
thinking back
Midwest.
to
It might be a
like
bunch of teen moms.
That could be that too. Huh?
21 to 25, I was still young in the head and wanting to party and everything, and I
Yeah.
could see, obviously having kids would put a damper on.
I
that,
think
I would say 30 is the great age to.
I agree with
to
that.
have kids.
I think between 28 and 32 is about the right age.
Yeah.
If you want to live some life before you tie yourself down to that.
Right.
I'm sure every mom of younger than that would go, "Hey, where were you then?"
Right.
And I
Right.
understand, but factually, I didn't have my first child till I was almost 30.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
I'm
mean, I'm
glad because I
32.
got to run out some of that wild in me
Yeah, and
and be
wait.
better off for a kid. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I wasn't resentful. I didn't feel like I'd given up my, best dating year, so to speak. Not that any of them were that great, but there were no salad days of dating for me. But anyway, yeah, I was happy.
Did you
that
say
I did
salad or solid?
salad?
Salad?
No salad days. It wasn't great dating. I never was good at it. I was just a terrible dater.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Were you one of those ones that's like it worked better if it was a one night stand that never left?
No.
Oh.
No, I was Mr. Fall in Love.
Yeah.
He was
The
the
one-night
hopeless
stand?
Oh,
romantic.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah, no, I always miscalculated.
He was the one writing
Yeah.
sonnets and poems and songs
Yeah,
on
that's
day
right.
one, and
That's
you know,
right. And your
carving
mom,
their
your
initials
mom
into
was good to
trees.
me, Rich.
Hey man,
Sorry.
Damn.
Sorry, dog. I apologize. Are you sleep deprived and driving right this minute?
No, but earlier.
Yeah. Millions of
how
Americans
that biker got hit.
not getting enough sleep. They're getting behind the wheel. Of course, riskier than you may think. But according to a survey of 1,000, nearly half of respondents report struggling to get enough rest. But so it says about 14% of Americans admit they've fallen asleep behind the wheel since 2020. That's pretty
That's a lot.
That is a lot, really,
Yeah.
if you think about it, you know. People are most tired driving late at night, right?
Figures.
Making hours of 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. the most dangerous. What do you do when you start to, if you're driving and you got a ways to go, what do you do to stay awake?
Roll down the window.
No. Non-powder substances or pipes, okay? What do you do to stay awake?
I mean, roll down the window,
Yep.
jam some music,
Yeah.
air conditioner,
Yeah, coffee.
Coffee, roll the
Stop.
windows down,
start
stop.
slapping myself across the face.
No, I will stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not about to.
Yeah, that's a good one. Stop and get out the
No.
car. Stretch your legs.
Which is
yeah.
so hilarious. I'm sitting here thinking about that now because I remember, you know, come on, road dog, like back in the just keep going, keep pushing, man, stop at some windows, some yellow
Drove
jackets,
to
man.
L.A. in 24 hours.
Hell yeah. Chicka, chicka, meow, meow. Absolutely. And now I'm like,
I
no,
was
bro,
rolling.
let's go ahead and pull over. We might want to stop at the Super 7.
It says most people will 63% drink a caffeinated beverage.
Yeah.
About the same percent would turn up the music. Just under that would roll down the window or put the air on
Yep.
high.
Yep.
And then the last one, talking to somebody on the phone. See, I can go to sleep talking to you on the phone.
Yeah.
That won't do it.
I have done that one.
Yeah, Laura used to call me. Sometimes I'd be coming back from out of town, and I just want to make sure you're okay. Do you need me to stay on the phone with you?
Right.
Because I would work some late nights here and there. It says one of the best things to do is just take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. You know what I learned, and I hate to say it, because when I first started in this type of broadcast business, getting up early, nap was not a 3-letter word, but a 4-letter word.
Yeah.
It's like you must be old if you take a nap.
Yeah.
But
And now you are.
Not so much. But I'll tell you this: the 20-minute power nap is the greatest
Oh, yeah.
thing in history.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, if you go 45, you're going to wake up and go, "Oh God!" If you go 20, you will wake up and feel like you slept 3 hours.
All right.
Seriously, it's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Set your clock for 20 minutes, hit 20, and then get back on the road.
Yeah.
And you'll be all right. What do you guys do out there? Anything different than that? Probably not much different that there is to do. But
Crash.
if you got something,
Keep it
let us
legal.
know. Yeah, definitely keep it legal. Yeah, definitely keep it legal. So later on this morning, we've got some folks coming in from CASA.
CASA.
To talk to us. They're child advocates. They help children escape child abuse, things like that, and some really good people. They've got something coming up that's really important, and we're going to talk to them in the 8 o'clock hour today. So I'm really happy to have them on and coming in, and real thankful to Brandon Jacks, one of our followers, listeners, viewers, whatever you want to call it. He's been with me for a long time, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, man, would you be willing to help these folks out?" And I was so happy that he did. If you've got a great organization out there and you've got something coming up that's doing something positive in the community, please reach out, because we definitely want to talk to you about it and share that information.
We are going to have, you're going to have an interview with the Arkansas Weather Watchers next week. So.
Yes, I'm excited
Why
about
not
that.
this week?
Well, they're kind of busy.
They're busy. They're busy.
They need to learn to multitask. How are you going to network?
Yeah, CASA, the Arkansas Coalition
CASA,
Against
yeah.
Sexual Assault, adults, children, but a lot
Yeah.
of children that they're protecting with that. Lots of people commenting about what we were talking about. Michelle said, "Kids are savages, but dang, I love mine." Oh, it's
absolutely.
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Sorry,
Mitchell.
Michelle.
Here,
Mitchell.
you may need these, man.
I might actually need them. What else is going on here this morning? Little doggy's out there talking to everybody. He's back in the text.
Latasha said, "Hey, Mike, she's looking for a grandpa for her kids. Can she get him to fill out an application?"
I told y'all to
Right.
keep that shit legal. Y'all
That's
are being
hilarious.
naughty out here. Little doggy, somebody stole your pallet, so my apologies, friend.
Oh no, they took it.
Yeah, I think it was some Russian.
Man, when I used to build furniture, those were solid gold.
Man, this was a dang near brand new one. I mean, it was pretty.
Y'all ever?
Yeah, sometimes you get them in their oak or
Yes,
their
this was
exotic
oak.
woods, and you can. Man, I used to make some dope ass stuff with those. Break them
Man.
down, sand them up.
It was all solid too. There wasn't any splits.
But
any
don't run those through the
eyes.
planer unless you want to ruin your planer. I'll tell you that.
Cereal.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, man?
I was gonna say, have you ever heard of a pallet pool, like a pool made out of pallet boards.
I have.
No?
No, and I wouldn't trust it.
No? No?
I used
No.
to would see those all over Pinterest and everything, especially during
No,
COVID,
but-
because everybody was.
Yeah.
And even before that, about 10 years ago, pallets were everything.
Yeah.
Everybody was trying to make pallet
Everything.
this, pallet that,
Yeah.
pallet
Every
furniture.
HGTV show
They
had
were all
pallets.
doing it. Every
Everything.
house
pallets.
was being customized with pallet walls.
Pallets.
It's true, man.
Pallets and poured concrete.
We built. What did we? This.
A patio.
No, I had a retail store in West Little Rock for about a year and a half, and it didn't work out very well. But it was one of the dopest places that I ever made, because we took this old house, pulled the floor out, and we took pallets and, took the wood off, put all the boards down, got a
Right.
commercial sander, which is like, it looks like a buffer.
It does.
But you just roll it over and sand it.
Yeah.
And then I stained it, and man, those
Did you
floors
ride
were
it?
amazing. Yeah, I did. No, they were amazing. Then we had a friend of mine, Josh Pope, who does faux finishing, and he came in and put Venetian on the walls and stuff like that. It was a dope ass place. I wish we had been successful, but we were not successful until we went out of business. Then we were very successful.
Yeah.
For about 60 days, we were super successful.
Right.
A year and a half.
Going back to the kid story, Coda Ballard just posted, I don't know how you can even afford kids nowadays, which is, man,
Right.
it's a lot. That's true.
Yeah, no, it is very expensive. It's even expensive for, the kids to leave.
Yeah.
But, I think our society, there's a big shift culturally happening where that I think you're going to see us go more European in family structure.
Yeah.
Because in Europe, a lot of times,
They're
families
in their
will live
20s.
together
Forever.
for years,
Forever,
sometimes
yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a familial
yeah.
thing.
But it's,
Right.
it's absolutely not uncommon for the children, quote unquote, to stay
Right.
in the house well into their 20s, almost 30s
absolutely.
before they get married.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's not like they will necessarily leave. They may bring
look,
the person into that home.
It's just because we've been fed that if you don't get independent, leave your
Right.
parents' house,
Then
you're a loser.
You're a loser. Yeah.
But look, if you're all in agreement on it, the great thing about it is, you can take care of your parents as they get older. They can help you with your kids as they
Exactly.
get older.
Right. Well,
Everybody's together. You're sharing
You're
time.
continuing on, traditions and
cool.
familial stories, your
Yeah, I wouldn't-
culture.
I wouldn't be
think
mad.
it's beautiful. Not at all. As an anthropologist, I co-sign it. Hey, did y'all, either one of you, look at any of the stuff I sent the PATP Facebook chat?
I don't know that I did.
Okay.
Maybe I missed it, but I'd been busy. What was going on in it?
Oh, I'm just sending inappropriate things.
Oh,
I remember the last thing you sent with the
About the joke about what does an 80-year-old woman taste like?
oh my God! What are y'all talking? Stop! I could guess.
Depends.
Oh no, listen.
Hey, Latasha says she knows an organization that's working in getting kids active and out of the house. They pay for sports fees if parents can't afford. She'd like to get them on the
Oh, that's
show.
Oh,
that's a
that's
good.
cool.
No, that's
I
a
love
good
that.
one. I do love that.
I
think
was
that's
gonna
great.
say I would love for them to come on because I would probably love to find out about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would. I mean, that's really cool, actually, to hear. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely, Tasha, get with us, and whenever we can do it, let us know. I mean, we'd love to help them, without a doubt. And again, if you guys out there have an organization or a charity that's got a fundraiser coming up that you think is good in our community, that's what this is for. Let me know, and we'll get them on the show for sure.
I got a question.
Yes.
Have either of you, and you don't have to answer this if it's embarrassing to you, but have either of you ever had a vehicle repossessed?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever chased down or fought the tow truck driver for said vehicle?
No.
Okay.
No, I've never done that. I let them come and get a car. It wasn't like I was surprised by it. Like somebody showed up at my
Right.
office and
Yeah.
just put a tow truck on it, like you see dramatically. People not making their payments.
Yeah.
I was like probably 19 or 20. It was a tote the note lot. It was a junky old, like a rattle trap Camaro that had been up and down the road more times than it should have been, and it broke down on me, and I was like, come get it.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm not making any more payments on it. And so that's the only time I ever had a repossession.
Well, I mean, was it a red 2011 Ford Focus?
No, it
No,
wasn't.
it was Camaro. Anybody? I mean,
That was very specific.
well, I mean, some folks were like serious about their Charger or their F-150 or
Right.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
something. But I mean, a gentleman was very upset about having his red 2011 Ford Focus being repossessed. That he ran over the tow driver's head
Oh.
to get.
Oh,
his
I
car.
saw that video.
Yeah.
Well, did the tow driver die?
No, he survived.
No, he
Like, he's got like a nice gnarly scratch and stuff
yeah,
on his
but
head, but
he's
really, like, that's it, man.
Cro-Magnon
He ran
fixed-
over
he-
his melon.
Yeah, and there's a video of it.
No, he didn't go over it,
Yeah.
right? He just bumped it, right? I mean, did
No.
he
I
literally-
mean,
the
he
tire
like the
went
tire
over
was
it?
like
Yeah.
like he was a speed bump, man. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
No.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is wild.
Is that not? It's
But
just
my
nuts.
bigger question is a 2011 what?
Ford Focus.
Who has that finance? Who has that
Seriously.
finance? What is that, like $7?
Seriously.
I mean, wow,
Oh
that
my
ran
God.
over his head?
Ran over his head.
It was
That
the
is
special
wild.
at the
Yeah.
buy here, pay here line.
Yeah,
no,
and drives away, doesn't stop or
Yeah,
anything.
no.
Just,
I assume they got him now.
yeah. And I mean,
Have you ever known anybody that
What?
did something that just, and again, you don't have to name names or anything, but you ever known someone or maybe went to school with someone or worked with someone who out of the blue did something insane like that? Just snapped and ran over somebody's head with, the tow truck driver or whatever?
well, I mean, I'm in the room, so we've had some really, really, really wild stuff happen, and nothing like fun, like running over a tow truck driver's head, but
Right.
like, holding people hostage, and
That's pretty fun.
murder, suicide,
That's not as fun.
high speed pursuits, jumping
That's
off
fun.
bridges. I know a girl who, before she decided she was done with, the
Stuff.
drinking, the stuff, the extracurriculars.
Yeah.
She launched her car, like off of where, the bridge and launched it so that she could go into the river to kill herself. And man, she just paralyzed herself, I mean,
See, that's
it was
wild.
temporary. Like, she's learned to walk again and everything, but like, how effed up is that?
That's
you can't even
perfect.
kill yourself right.
No,
Like,
it's
you're
perfect.
like paralyzed in the river, like trying
That's-
to swim.
No, that's
Ain't that some stuff?
again. This is the problem with impulsivity.
Yeah.
You
This
got
is
to
the
think
problem
this
with
through.
opiates.
You just got to think things through.
That's the problem with
No,
opiates.
she had the solution.
No, she
just
had
take
the
more
solution.
opiates,
Just-
and it's over.
It
You
wasn't
just go to
working.
sleep.
It wasn't working.
Just take more. You don't have to jump off a bridge and get
No,
paralyzed.
she launched her shit.
No, that's
She
like-
didn't just,
that's like if you're gonna-
She general lead it.
Look, if you're gonna shoot yourself, just put it right out
Oh.
and go. Don't be playing around
So that
with it.
doesn't
Don't
always work
no.
either.
Well, see, I wouldn't do it that way. Again, she already had the solution in her hand. She just didn't want to use it. It's like, I already do
Dang.
that. That's a boring way to do it.
Dang.
No, I just want to go to sleep and ride out
Yeah.
if I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be like, hey, man, you got a bunch of that fentanyl or whatever it's called today? Somebody's
Whatever
Gonna
you're
say it
doing,
just
yeah,
like
man.
that.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to say.
Man.
Is that how you
Hey,
talk
man.
to your
Yeah, that's what I do.
Man.
You got some of that
Talk to
That,
your
that
plugs.
fentanyl or whatever them
them
cool
kids
kids
are
are
doing,
doing.
you got some of that business.
Crocodile.
Yeah, crocodile. That is a real
Skiddity
drug.
dink a doo doo or whatever
Yeah.
you hoes are doing these days. I don't even know.
All right, so
Are you going to come up with like a sign, like a blinking sign or something for your family? Because if like you come out of
See,
something
that's
like
the
that
problem.
and you're paralyzed,
No,
you're
man.
like 3 winks and I'm like, smother me, put an air bubble in my
no,
shit.
I already have an understanding with Laura.
Laura?
Listen, if I end up neck down, paralyzed, and my quality of life isn't good, you got to help me go.
Yeah,
You got to
Yeah.
help me out.
Yeah.
You got to help me gone.
yeah.
Because
if I
I'm
can't
not
feel
Stephen
nothing
Hawking.
below my waist,
Well,
hey, I want feeling below my waist.
well, I mean everybody does,
Well,
but I
no.
might be able to make it work one way or the other above the waist. But if it's neck down, I'm
think
like,
so?
oh, I don't know. Do I really want to live that much?
So are you one of those individuals that can,
I didn't say I would want to. I just said I might.
No. There's some folks that can climax off of like not
No,
not
I don't
intimate
even
touching?
know. Hell no, I don't even know what that. No. This question is way too. Once again,
Science.
now we have to do.
Science.
This is what happens. This is why.
What did I do?
No, you're great.
Did I? Oh, is this what happens now?
Yeah, this is what happens.
okay.
Every time you're bad, we go
Every
to a
time I'm
song.
bad.
Worked all day, glad to be home. Wanna hit the recliner, get some beer in my dome. Kick back the handle, feet go up in the air. Reach for the remote, but shit, it ain't there. All of a sudden the TV screen flicks. It's the Real Housewives of New Old Dicks. Oh God, can this be happening to me? My wife got control of the TV. As the credits rolled, I thought things could get fun. But my wife changed it to something called Bridgerton. FML is all I can mutter. These ladies are worse than housewives and teen mothers. Are they from like the 1800s? All of a sudden the TV screen flicks. It's the Real Housewives of New Old Dicks. Oh God, can this be happening to me? My wife got control of the TV. When 9 p.m. came around, for a minute I had hope. I stretched out my arm and she just blurted no. All of a sudden the TV screen flicks. It's the Real Housewives of New Old Dicks. Oh God, can this be happening to me? My wife got control of the TV. When 9 p.m. came around, for a minute I had hope. I stretched out my arm, and she just blurted no. Oh, all of a sudden the TV screen flicks. It's the Real Housewives of New Old Dicks. Oh God, can this be happening to me? My wife got control of the TV.
All right, we are back, and man, some good, interesting comments here. This one says, this is from Latasha. She said, I had my car stolen before and chased down and got my car back. I also had my car repoed. You chased people down and got your car? I did have somebody try to take my car once.
I caught somebody rummaging around in my car one night. We had stopped at the house to.
Where'd you put the body?
Well, no, nowhere. Nowhere. But it turns out she was deaf.
Oh,
It was a deaf homeless woman, and we chased her down. The cops came, and then they were like going through her pockets. They're like, "Is this yours? Is this yours?" And so everything was ours, like whether it was mine or not.
Right.
Like the extra packs of cigarettes, all that change. Yeah, that's mine. That's mine. That's mine.
So wait,
So years later, I go to jail for my possession with intent, my initial charge, right?
Yeah.
And on my first revocation of that, because I couldn't be bothered to go to probation, who is in my fucking pod with me?
oh, the deaf lady?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
That was an interesting reunion.
I bet it was.
It was. She's like, "Oh, I remember. Oh, I'm so sorry," or whatever. With, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not being PC.
so everybody's talking about, cars and repossessions and chasing down somebody
Yeah,
if your
yeah,
car
yeah.
was stolen. So
Yeah.
look, like, if somebody steals your car and you don't get it back or they, crash it or whatever, like, insurance kind of covers like that, right?
If you have uninsured motorist, if you
Yeah.
have full coverage.
You have full coverage.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, if somebody steals my car, like, they'll send me a check to, like, go get a new car, right?
If it's covered in
Well,
your
once
policy.
it's recovered,
Once it's recovered.
or they declare it gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the time frame?
I was just
you
gonna
gotta
say, like, between, I don't know, 6 o'clock and 9:45 in the morning, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, if you want. There's a
people to know what
lovely
your car is?
1998 Buick
Well,
out there that you can.
You better make sure you got full coverage. You better know the replacement value.
Yeah, let me call my
Better Kelly Blue Book
The retail value of that might be $1,800. I don't know.
$18.
Well, it could be. I'm not sure. Coda said, had my first truck stolen, the cops just went, womp womp, sucks for you. Yeah, look, there's so many cars stolen. It's hard for them. They're not going to, pursue that.
Leads. Do we have any leads?
Yeah, right.
We got them working in
So,
shifts.
again, when I was 19, 20, a lot of stuff happened in those years for me. They were formative, stupid years. And I went to pick up my check at Circle K.
Yes.
Yeah, at 65th and Lancaster in Southwest where I worked. And I had remember the beat-up Camaro that went back?
Oh, yeah.
That was the one.
That was the one,
And
yep.
so I pulled up and left it running, ran right inside the door to get my check. And she's handing me my check. I look outside, and the guy is making eye contact with me as he sits in the driver's seat of my car and starts to go in reverse. And I ran out of the store, right? And I'm 9 kinds of pissed. And I run out. The dude literally gets out of the car and starts running. The car's still backing towards the gas
Shut
pumps.
up.
Yeah. What? Yeah, so I'm like, oh, shit, do I chase him or do I stop the car from
Right.
the gas pumps? And I figured, well, I better get in the car.
Yeah.
I drove down several blocks to some apartments and stuff to try to find him. I couldn't find him.
No. You made the right choice, though, man, I think.
No, I definitely made the right choice. I couldn't afford it if I'd hit those pumps.
Yeah.
There wasn't no full coverage on that hunk of junk. I was lucky if I had liability back then. People rolled the dice a lot on insurance back
Yeah,
in
they
those
did.
days.
Yeah.
You never knew.
At those days, they still do these days.
Do they?
Oh, yeah.
It seems like it's probably harder now, though.
Well, so if you don't especially in Arkansas, I noticed this has started recently, but if you don't they track who keeps insurance and who doesn't.
Yeah.
On their registration, and if you don't for a certain amount of time, you'll get a letter in the mail
Really?
that says, "Hey, we're fining you $100 for not having insurance." The next
Here?
time
Oh, wow.
the next time you go and
I didn't know that.
I see you're looking all around.
Oh
You
no,
all right
I'm
over
just hearing something. I wasn't.
Oh, it was
trying
they
to-
were doing something and some
Yeah.
work. And,
there? Oh, okay.
But you gotta
God
make sure
forbid.
it's not the voices.
yeah, no, it's definitely not the normal ones.
God,
Yeah,
those are
that's.
scaring me.
Go ahead. No,
Oh no, that's
yeah.
it's an interesting thing.
no, it really is. It really is. Okay, so
What's up? Tactical Turkey just said, Rich.
What's up,
We were
Andy?
talking on Facebook yesterday. He said
Yeah.
he's pretty open right now, and he wants you and
wants
I
us
to
to
come
go
out
blow
there
some
and
stuff up.
yeah, dude, and do a
So when are we
remote
doing-
episode.
when
out
are we
there,
doing
so.
it?
Whenever you want, man.
Yeah. Okay.
set it up.
Well, we'll do that soon.
All right.
So let me ask you guys this, and each of you can individually answer, okay? What's the one conspiracy theory that you go all in on?
There's so many to choose from.
Yeah, but there's got to be one of them that you're like, all right, on that one, I really do believe it. There's got to be one, right?
Weather control.
Okay.
Or
okay.
what is it, Hearn or whatever up there in Alaska with Jesse Ventura did a thing on it. They've got 100,000 watt radio station towers.
Okay.
And he says that's how they can control the weather and control the clouds and have been practicing mind control and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, I don't know about the mind control part of it, and I don't know about the radio tower part of it, but I will say that that weather control is, I think it's
I think it's a real thing.
No, I know it's a real thing to some extent.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the extent is, but I do know this, and I don't know if we talked about it here in the past couple of days, but a year and a half ago in Dubai, you may or may not remember, they had a once-in-a-lifetime flood.
I remember that.
And you're like,
Yeah.
how the hell are they having a flood in Dubai, right?
Right.
Well, about a month later, and nobody really talked about it. It's one of those things where it's just, yeah. They admitted they had seeded the clouds at 5 times the rate that was recommended because they wanted to make sure they got rain.
Right.
Now, I stopped right there and I went, wait a minute.
How do you see the cloud?
Wait a minute. No. I mean, cloud seeding's not new, but you're telling me that you can overdo it and cause that much. So, how many weather events in the past decade, 2 decades, 3 decades
Right.
have been precipitated by somebody
Doing
overdoing
something.
these type of things?
Absolutely.
Or how many have been perpetrated on us because somebody had an agenda about it?
Right.
I don't know, but it makes me real sketch about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What about you?
I mean, that's probably the one that I find most believable.
Yeah.
To be honest, as far as like the aliens and stuff like that goes, I mean, I've always kind of believed that, you know.
Well, I think you'd be arrogant to think there's nothing else in the universe, right?
Seriously, and while we are a pretty arrogant species as human beings, we seriously
With
can't be
every
that-
right.
Yeah.
We're sexy as hell.
True
I don't know any sexy German shepherds, I'll tell you that.
Hey, well, not like sexy, but I
Right.
mean, I love a German Shepherd.
Boss.
That the U.S. government killed JFK. You know, I could probably get behind that.
Oh, you saw that they just released. I
heard
just
about
saw.
that. I still don't believe that.
I don't
Well,
know if it's true or not,
I
but
don't care when they come out. Oh, we released this or that.
Well, I
How
know,
can I
but
actually believe you that that's
they're
what you're actually
demanding that
releasing?
NBC release a video they've had with it says that when JFK was shot, they show that Lee Harvey Oswald was actually near the limo.
Yeah.
Not where he was supposed to be
Yeah.
and wouldn't have been able to have shot him
I've heard
from
that
there.
too. I've heard
Now,
that
I don't
too.
know.
Yeah.
But that is interesting. But that one's so old that
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't
as
care.
much.
Yeah, I don't care. So I
Yeah.
saw something the other day, and I'm going to have to probably do a little more research on it. But this guy worked, I think, like MIT or something like that, and was approached about, mind control through color. Yeah, and
Interesting.
how it's been translated into the
Like a
blue
subliminal.
screen. Your
Okay,
blue screen
yeah.
and your meta and your Facebook.
Oh, I've heard
and all
about
stuff.
that. Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah, and that was like I want to get a little bit deeper into that because that sounds very plausible,
Right.
very possible,
All right,
very
so-
probable.
All right, so how about this, Rich? What's the conspiracy theory you're like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard? Stop.
Oh gosh. Man, I got to think about that one for a minute.
Think on it.
Yeah. Let me think on that
Amanda.
one.
Dumbest conspiracy theory. One you're like, come on, don't be an idiot.
The Earth's flat.
Yeah, that one. That
That's
one.
it. That's the one.
That one wins.
That's the one every time.
I didn't even think of that as a conspiracy
as soon-
theory.
Right.
Yeah,
That's-
as
you
soon
don't
as
even
you tell
consider
me.
it. Yeah.
As soon as
I'm
you tell me
sorry.
you're a flat earther, I'm
yeah,
like,
kick rock.
I'm done.
we probably don't have anything to talk about
No,
because
nothing to
if
talk
you can honestly
about.
believe the Earth's flat, then
And the rest of them are.
yeah.
Right.
I'll tell you one that does intrigue me, but I'm not pin up about is the moon landing.
That one I was. Thinking
Yeah,
about that
that
does
is
intrigue
still
me.
the number one most conspiracy theory. I was just looking through a list of like the 25
I
top.
want it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, if we did, that's the most baller lie we ever told.
Right.
Whoa, how
That
could
would
we
be
have
so
possibly
baller.
pulled that
Have
off?
y'all-
We're not that smart.
I
as a
don't think we
country.
were either.
I never even knew this was a conspiracy.
What?
But apparently on this list that I'm looking at, number 6 of the top 25 biggest
Okay.
conspiracy
Talk to
theories,
me.
right? The Denver International Airport is the headquarters for the Illuminati.
I have heard that underneath the airport there was a secret place, but I've also
a
heard that
chapel?
about Walmart. Remember when all of a sudden they said there were tunnels under Walmarts, and the FBI was doing that big thing in Texas, and everybody thought they were about to try to take over the country or whatever. Yeah. But they were talking about these tunnel systems under Walmart.
Yeah.
That was the big thing. That was during the COVID time. And I'm like,
okay.
there's no tunnels under This is not the White House, man. It's Walmart.
No,
You know, maybe the one in Bentonville, but that'd be the only one.
Yeah.
like the
You
first
know.
one.
What are some of the other conspiracy theories you don't know? Have you ever heard people talk about the lizard people?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's another one I'm like, come on, man.
What is the Snapple
Yeah.
and the KKK? What?
Oh, I don't know about that. But
Number
Or
10,
what you're
Bigfoot is real.
Bigfoot, well, is that a conspiracy theory? Bigfoot? I guess it could be.
The Nazis had a secret base in Antarctic.
I believe that.
You know, I don't know. I mean, that,
I've been watching
that one's not exciting
Hellboy
enough.
and Golden Army for about 48 hours. So
You know, here's one, and it ties into the movie, and it's one everybody hears, and,
What?
and I'd love to hear yours
Hellboy?
all's opinion. No,
Oh.
that we're all actually living in the Matrix.
In a simulation,
Yeah, that all this is just a simulation.
it's very possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're not an NPC.
okay, what about
You know,
what
you're
about
not passive in it. But
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely possible that you're in a simulation.
Do you
of
think
some
Tupac
kind.
is still alive? Because that's a conspiracy
Oh,
theory
yeah.
too. I've honestly, I toyed with that one for a little bit. That him and Biggie were both alive, and they were on
was hype.
a island that they co-owned. You know,
Sounds fun with
smoking
Elvis
blunts.
and
Right.
No, just them.
No, Elvis is now a pastor out in Tennessee.
yeah. No, I don't believe any of them are alive. I think that became a fun conspiracy theory because Tupac released more music after he died than when he was alive, and people were like, "How could he have that much?" But they did record a bunch. It was like Prince. You
Well,
know?
what about the conspiracy theory that we were complicit in 9/11? That
Oh, inside.
That it was an
9/11
inside job.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, I would hate to imagine that, but do I think that we could have been involved? Maybe, but I don't know.
Kind of like a little Pearl Harbor
I mean,
repeat kind of thing, because there's that, there's that
I mean,
school of thought as well.
you would hope that's not the case.
Well, of course you would hope that.
But so I don't believe it necessarily, but I do believe that weapons of mass destruction, as was illustrated, was a conspiracy theory
Right.
that was used to initiate an unnecessary war and remove Saddam Hussein, who, while was a terrible person, was the devil you know sometimes better than
Better
the one
than
you
the
don't.
one you don't. Yeah.
And so when we took him out, we inadvertently created ISIS.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it wasn't a very good idea to run that route.
No.
That was W and Company.
Have you heard of
Oh, is it in Benton? Okay.
What are you talking
What?
about?
The Elvis is a pastor.
It's
Yeah.
Benton. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
in
about to
Benton?
say, I think
He's
that's
in Benton?
bauxite.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what Dear Giger just said. He said Elvis is a pastor in Benton,
Joey,
Arkansas.
where is he at in
Oh,
Benton?
wow.
Bob
we need to go
Joyce.
there.
Bob Joyce is his name?
Yeah. This has been a
Let's
legit
get Bob-
thing.
hey,
Like,
who
there's
knows
been
Bob
like,
Joyce? Get him
there's
on
been
here.
videos that have come on like
Well, there are a
YouTube
lot
about
of
this
people
guy.
who,
And
you know, Elvis would be like 900 now, right? How old would Elvis be
gross it
today?
would
Somebody
look.
tell me, how old would Elvis be today?
let's see.
I don't know.
He had to be 80 something,
Holy
right?
snap. Yeah, Bob Joyce. Okay, this is
How
hilarious.
old
I've gotta
would
see this.
Elvis
Where is
be
he?
today?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look up Bob Joyce.
Household
he'll
of
look-
Faith.
He'd be
Y'all, we need Bob Joyce on.
he'd be 90
Y'all know
years
people.
old.
Okay, yeah, he'd be 90 today. So if you see somebody who
gross
kind
he
of
would
looks
look.
like Elvis, if he ain't 90, it ain't Elvis.
Ew.
End of story, right?
I mean, you know,
What?
I guess that guy. That's Bob Joyce.
Yeah, he could look like older Elvis, but he's not 90.
Yeah.
Looks like
Now,
a
but that
older
picture, I don't know how old that
Jim
picture
Jones.
is.
Looks
But
like Kenny Rogers.
he does. Yeah, pre-surgery.
Pre-Ozempic?
Right.
Remember, Kenny Rogers looked one way for about
You got
60 years, then he had surgery, and he looked Chinese. It was crazy, man. He
Y'all gotta be careful how high they pull them strings when you're getting lifts, Like, it just,
Oh, right.
you gotta, okay.
No, you can tell the stars that have good surgeons and bad surgeons. That you can go, oh, no, that was a bad one. The Kardashians clearly have the best surgeons abducted in their basement.
Scotty Thorpe wants to know. He says, "Do you think Andy Kaufman died?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Says
sure
he
did.
wonders sometimes if he
Yeah,
actually died.
I don't know. In all honesty, I never thought he was funny
I
or
wasn't a big,
interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's the wrong thing to say,
I don't,
but
I agree with you.
he was all right on Taxi. He played a character
Right.
named Lodka, and it was a cute character.
Yeah.
But that's about as much as I had. Like the whole wrestling thing was weird
It was
to me.
weird.
Yeah.
Andy
It was
Kaufman was Andy
weird.
Warhol was weird. Andy Kaufman was weird.
Yeah.
They're just weird people, and I don't
Weird.
know. Yeah, no, I'm sure he is dead. He's dead to me. How about that?
What about the DB Cooper?
Oh, I think they recently said they thought they had they named somebody they thought was DB Cooper, but yeah, that one was definitely real and interesting for a long time. But I do think he died probably. But if he didn't, that's so baller. I mean, he robbed a bank and jumped out of a plane mid-flight.
Yeah.
A commercial plane at that. Just parachuted right in.
Deuces.
Yeah, that's
Keep your in-flight meal.
what I want to know is how you got out, because you open that door and all of a sudden you ain't. It's hell. If you bust open a door in a plane mid-flight,
Oh yeah.
you may crash the plane.
I really hope I never know what that's like.
I've
Oh,
always
hell no.
wanted to go skydiving.
Not like that
Yeah,
though.
I'm
No,
good.
not like that.
No, it's great. I mean, it is. It's a
You've
lot
gone?
of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he has.
Is there a place in Arkansas to go?
Yes.
Yeah, there are some places. There used to be several in Hazen.
Okay.
That's where I jumped out of a plane, but I don't know that any of them are there anymore because it just became something people quit doing
Yeah.
in large
why.
numbers. I know it's weird,
Yeah.
and so you have
Wow.
to really go somewhere to find somebody. But yeah, when I went to Hazen. It was my brother and I.
Yeah.
We decided to go. I wanted to beat my fear of heights.
Oh, that's a
why I
good way to
did
do it.
I said, if I can do that, I can overcome anything, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we went there. We had to watch about an hour and a half of videos
Yeah.
about safety, basically, so they could cover their ass,
Right.
And so we
Kinda
watched
like
those
when Dale
videos.
Gribble goes to be a
Before
bounty
you,
hunter.
before you crash into the ground.
And these were nice
AABCC.
They were nice guys. They were yokels, you know what I mean? And
What's a yokel?
a local yokel, like a
Oh,
you know,
okay.
yokel.
Okay.
So they had a little plane. It wasn't a big
Never heard
plane.
that before.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
I've never heard
And
that.
so, if you don't know this, when you jump out of a plane, you don't jump out of a jet. You jump out of a little,
A duster.
You're right. Little, yeah.
A duster.
that kind of plane, prop plane. And so you can't just go. It's not like you just go straight up.
Right.
You have to circle up because of the wind pressure, right? So you circle up, in our case, to almost 12,000 feet.
Okay.
Gross.
So we're way up there. And I was talking mad shit. All
Of
the way up.
course.
I was like, hell yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then they open that door to that plane. And it's like, and he's like, you ready? I'm like, nope. No, I'm not. And he said, no, are you ready? I said, no, I'm not. And he said, well, we're about to go. And I was trying to tell him I didn't want. It was too late.
Right.
He pushed me right out the door. Well, before I looked over, everything looked like a cartography map.
Okay.
It was just grids.
Yeah,
You couldn't
yeah,
make
you couldn't
anything
nothing, yeah.
out but grids. And it was like, this was a really bad idea. That's the thought that went through my head. Then he pushed me out, and I passed out immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
immediately passed out. And I was out for about 3 seconds. And I've said many times that waking up, because when you jump the first time, you're tandem.
Right.
So you have a man attached to your back to begin with, which as a
Which
man.
you should have enjoyed right off the bat.
Shut your damn mouth. Which as a man is weird anyway. But when you wake up midair with a man on your back using his legs to spread your legs and arms open because he had to, because otherwise
Yes,
we'll.
You're normally used to him giving you a couple drinks first.
Yeah, I was like, that is the weirdest wake up in the world. You're like, I don't know whether to yell, feel violated.
Wow.
I don't know. There's that 1 millisecond of what the hell's happening.
is
But yeah, and then to top it all off, I paid a little extra for them to jump out and video it.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have another guy that jumps out and he videos your skydive, right? We get down to the bottom, he goes, man, the camera messed up. We'll give you a free jump if you want. And I was like, no, I got
I'm
the
good.
memory. I got the memory. I'm straight. Trust me, it's still as vivid today as it ever was.
Yeah.
As vivid as ever. So listen, we've got guests coming in from Casa. What? Oh, no, go ahead.
We were talking earlier about conspiracy theories, and I just happened to read Bundy's comment here. He said, of course, Rich says weather control. It's in my heritage.
No, that's wow. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was relegated to the group chat.
Oh my God! Apparently it's escaped.
Where's the
No, yeah. That's for you, Bundy.
dang?
All right, so we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to bring in the folks from Acasa. Really want to talk to them. They've got a big fundraiser coming up. It's a big event, and you're going to want to be part of it. So we'll be back momentarily, okay?
Your words keep playing on a loop through my head. The the price that I'm paying, well, the currency is dread. Thinking on what I heard, a question I'm trying to unwind. Digging through your words, how much truth will be mined? Paranoia is creeping in, a dirty fog that whispers. I'm hoping my demons don't win, picking at my mental blisters. The farther I walk in the wake of your words, the less I trust my compass. The more I stalk and take from things unheard, the less I trust my spyglass. It's so dark in here and I don't have a flashlight to illuminate my thoughts, to know which is right. Paranoia is creeping in, a dirty fog that whispers. I'm hoping my demons don't win, picking at my mental blisters. I hear the demons breaking in, the windows of my brain being busted. The doors are being kicked in, nothing in my head can be trusted. Paranoia is creeping in, a dirty fog that whispers. I'm hoping my demons don't win, picking at my mental blisters. I'm hoping my demons don't get wind.
All right, it is Patrick and the people. It is Wednesday, and we are back live and here with Lacye and Sydney and Brandon Jacks. Many of you know Brandon Jacks from, back in the day. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. He was often seen over at the station which sold its soul, and with me when I was there. But Lacye and Sydney here are with Acasa. And you guys have a really special thing coming up. And let's talk about, first of all, why don't you tell people what you guys do as an organization? I think that's the perfect place to start.
Absolutely. So, first and foremost, my name is Lacye. Hi. And I'm the Prevention Education Director at Acasa, and that's the Arkansas Coalition Against Sexual Assault. So, our program exists to serve survivors of sexual assault. Not only just survivors, but their families. They're often secondary victims.
Sure.
We're there to serve them, and we're also there to try and prevent sexual violence from happening in the first place.
Okay, so what are some of the ways that you guys go about doing this?
Okay, so we have a lot of different, I guess what you would call divisions within our organization. So we focus on training law enforcement, teaching them how to respond to a case of sexual violence, because it's a lot different than obviously like a car accident or a robbery. You're going to behave differently.
You're exactly right, and I'll tell you, my brief knowledge of that is I narrate courses for the University of Arkansas.
Oh, okay.
And criminal justice is the department where I narrate. And so in order to, when you become a policeman and you further yourself sexual violence is a particular course by itself that you have to learn about how to deal with those people, the victims, the evidence preservation.
Right.
So many different variables in that, both from treating the person as a human being to dealing with the case, right?
Right, absolutely, yeah. And there's so many different layers of, things to consider whenever you're dealing with a survivor. In addition to law enforcement, we also look at human trafficking.
Right.
And that's a whole universe by itself.
Let me ask you a question about that when you say that, because I think a lot of times you think human trafficking, you think of like the movie Taken.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh,
You know,
yeah.
that's the most traditional vision that we have in our heads of that. But when you say it, it can encompass many different things. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. So really, most traditionally, human trafficking is more labor trafficking. We're looking at people who are here and they're being forced to work
Right.
without proper compensation or to some other extent.
Right.
But sexual violence is also rampant in human trafficking. And it isn't like Taken, it's not being dragged
Typically,
across.
yeah.
Typically, right. It's not, a young woman being taken across, the country. It's happening here.
Right, right. Yeah, I think a lot of people in recent years have become surprised at how much of that happens in our own backyards. I just saw one the other day here in Little Rock where, this lady had been, trafficked for, I think, 1.5 to 2 years, and she escaped. But I was like, wow, man, that's right here.
It is.
And it might be somebody you see out and about and you don't even know what's going on,
Right, right.
So what are other ways you guys, you work with the victims, help them with, wellness, how to get back to a good place mentally?
Right, right. And you're looking at, for a lot of that, is our crisis centers. So what we do at ACASA is we're sort of overseeing the spread of these types of services and the security of these types of services. Our crisis centers are the ones who are actually directly servicing these survivors and providing them both spiritual support, emotional support, providing them what they can to get them to a place of healing.
That's amazing. So tell us about the event that you've got coming up, how people can get involved, and not just in the event, but maybe somebody's listening right now, maybe they themselves have been a victim in the past, or maybe they know someone who does, and they're like, man, this is an organization I could be passionate about and I'd like to help with, and I'm sure people think that. I'd like to know more about that too.
Absolutely. So April is Sexual Violence Awareness Month. And in that, a lot of organizations like ours do events for awareness, for fundraising, for just showing support for survivors. So this Saturday, April 5th, we have our what we call a wellness festival. And at this festival, there will be a lot of different organizations that are dedicated to making sure that people are healthy.
Okay.
And that looks like, our organization, so making sure that you are healthy after trauma. It's also looking at prevention. So how can you learn different behaviors, different strategies to preventing this type of thing, like being a bystander? It's from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. There is some weather that we're anticipating coming in, but we would love for you to come out and show your support.
And it's April what?
5th.
April 5th, and it's from 1 to 4. And where is it going to be at?
At the filling station in North Little Rock.
The filling station in North, that's not a gas station.
No.
No, it's an event location there that they have. So, when you talk about overcoming trauma, obviously, when you've been a victim of something like that, there is a severe amount of trauma that's involved in that. Do you feel like there's a path back to I don't know that normal life is the right word, but where you can at least process that, live with that, move forward, and heal and have a whole life?
Absolutely. It is 100% possible to get back to a place where you are healed from that trauma. And like you said, it's not a straight path, and it's not easy. But that is why we exist. We exist to help you get the resources that you specifically need, because every survivor is different. What I would need is going to be much different than what you would need.
I would think that much like anything else, some people may process with, profound sadness, others anger, others, different ways that you can process that, and it manifests itself into your life.
Absolutely.
And so what you're hoping to do, I guess, is extract the ripple and try to isolate that to this time and move forward without those ripples as much as possible.
Correct. Because it really affects so many different aspects of someone's life. It will affect their sex life.
Yeah,
It will
obviously,
affect
yeah.
their physical health. It will affect their ability to work. And that becomes a cycle. And so the whole goal of, getting support for survivors is to break out of that cycle so that they can move forward in a straight path.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Brandon, how did your motorcycle group, and tell people about Punishers and what you guys do, first of all, and how did you get involved with helping ACASA?
Well, all right. Punishers Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club. We're everywhere. We are literally
Yeah, no, it's one of the largest in the nation.
world.
Yeah.
We are actually a worldwide motorcycle club.
Wow.
We are
And
absolutely.
they let you in. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? It's shocking sometimes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But no, we do a lot of charity work with everything from local schools to statewide organizations. We're all over the place, but I mean, you never know.
So the
Where we're at.
Punishers, let me help you out
Yeah,
a little bit.
go ahead, yeah.
Punishers as a motorcycle club is a Leo based law enforcement based motorcycle club, but they're a club that does a lot of rides, but their whole mission is to better our communities locally, and so they participate in all types of things and events that better the community, and it's a great excuse to get on motorcycles and ride. And do rides and what they call, what do they call those, fun runs, poker runs?
Well, we're doing a poker run on the 12th, and actually 50% of the proceeds are going to be going to ACASA.
Okay, so now tell us about the fun run.
Okay, the poker run, we're leaving
run,
out.
I'm
Yeah. We're leaving out from
Fun
Sheridan.
run was something I did last night. My bad. You don't want to know.
No, TMI, buddy. We're going to be leaving out from Sheridan, doing a route, coming back around, and as we go, we're going to be collecting cards and taking record of them.
Okay.
Everybody can purchase a hand to ride. Actually, we're paying to ride when we could do it for free.
Okay.
So 90% of the motorcycle clubs that you see out there riding around, they're paying to ride.
Right, they're paying to help charity,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So where will y'all depart from on the 12th?
we're going to be leaving from Sheridan, from our actual Sea-Arc clubhouse down in
Okay.
Sheridan, Arkansas.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be going from there over to Malvern, make a stop in Malvern, come up to Benton, go to Blue Heaven. Actually, take lunch break there.
Yeah.
Goof around.
Do they know you're coming?
Yes, they
I hope
do.
you've
I've already talked to the manager. The
That's
whole
going to
time,
make
so,
somebody
yeah.
nervous if you ain't told them. It's a lot of bikes
Bunch
rolling
of bikes rolling in. We're going to go from there, then make another pit stop on the way back to Sheridan, then disperse from there.
Okay.
We've got a fellowship that's going to be happening in towards Conway.
Now, let's say that somebody out there right now, they're a rider. They love riding, and they'd love to be involved in something like what you do. How would they get involved with the Punishers Motorcycle Club?
Walk up, shake a hand, start talking.
Well, where do they walk to? I mean, do they call? Do they get on Facebook? Do they?
Well,
go to a
we do
website?
have, we're on Facebook as well.
Yeah.
It's the Punishers, LEMC Arkansas.
Okay.
You can jump onto that. That's open to the public. We also have a members only page.
Now,
But-
do you have to be former law enforcement or current law
No.
enforcement to be in?
No, you don't. I'm actually former military, former fire. But it's for law enforcement or like-minded individuals.
Okay.
So-
So that opens the door up to a lot of other
Yes.
people to be
Yes.
involved, and I know many are.
We have chapters all over Arkansas,
It's always
all over the world.
Always amazing because these guys, and there were a couple of them, motorcycle groups that took part in the cook-off that we always had, and you get to know all these different people, and you're talking to lawyers, you're talking to accountants, you're talking to police officers, and they're decked out just like Brandon is, like they're from a movie, they're going to ride up with a chain and whoop your ass, but that's not how it is. They're actually all amazing human beings, and I got to know a great number of them. I've been blessed to get some challenge coins and some things like that, and it's just really cool to be involved with.
That skull that I wear on the back of my cut,
Yeah.
it's known as a guardian. His name's Otto. It represents that we guard. We are the guardians.
Yeah.
We're there to help.
Yeah.
Our motto, in service to others.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's a different kind of thing, you know.
Yes.
And I'm certain you guys, you know, have worked with these clubs for a long time and know the value and are grateful to have them participating.
Absolutely, because part of violence prevention in general is looking at building a community of people that will fight together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that awareness is step one. Being aware that it does happen here. It's not just, you know, in New York or Miami or
Right,
somewhere
right.
like that. It's in Little Rock. It's in Benton. It's in Bryan. It's in North Little Rock. I mean, it's everywhere. It's where we live right now. And so first step, I would think, is get your eyes open to what's going on around you, because so many times, and we're all guilty of just, you know, absentmindedly walking through a day, not even looking around, not even thinking about it. You might go to a convenience store, walk in and out, never look around you in the parking lot, but maybe if you lift your head up and look around, you might see something and be able to do something or say something.
Right.
You know, so I would think that's a first step. But what are other ways that, you know, regular people like myself can be part of the solution?
Absolutely. So, number one, like you said, is awareness. Educate yourself. So, you know, if there's any sort of educational programming, go to it. You know, look up our page and look at some of the different ways that you can be what we call an upstander. So instead of being a bystander, just watching what's happening and not doing anything about it, being an
Right.
upstander and actually
That's
being
great.
able to be someone who can take action against some of these things.
I like that counter branding, because you know, you always hear about the innocent bystanders,
Right.
but nothing happened. You know, but being an upstander is somebody taking action.
Correct.
Yeah. See something, say something, if you will. You know, or more. That's great. That's great. So. Again, if they wanted to get involved with you guys, what is the best path? Go online to the website and start there?
Absolutely, yeah. And so another way that you can do that is by showing up on Saturday and getting some information, because we will be providing a lot of resources, not only on just sexual violence in general, but on child abuse and human trafficking, and also the different ways that you can support as a family member or a friend, how you can support someone who is a survivor.
So, who is this event for, Lacey?
Everyone. If you have a body, it is for you. Because we are focused on the dimensions of wellness. So looking at your physical health, your spiritual health, the environmental health, your emotional health. It is for anyone that is interested in making yourself a better person.
Or your community better
Or your
and safer.
community better and safer.
I mean, I would think people with children would be high on this list of people who should come out, because, you know, that's our worst nightmare. The movie Taken, of course, I talked about it earlier, but, you know, that kind of thing happening to your child or your wife or your sister or whomever. It doesn't even, could be your brother, your uncle, whatever. I don't want to be stereotypical there, but yeah, it can impact everyone.
Absolutely.
So being out there, if you have kids, is a great way to get ahead of a lot of the things that are happening today you might not even be aware of. The new ways that they're trying to recruit these kids or these other people into trafficking. So much is happening online now, right?
Right.
And how is that, you know, the online world, how has it helped or hindered or both when it comes to this you know, situation, Lacey?
Oh my gracious. So I would say it's both. In one instance, it is uniting. So we're able to get so much more information out into the public, which is wonderful. But at the same time, you look at the counter version of that, which is, you know, more and more people we don't want to have access to this kind of tool are able to use it.
Right. This is not something I commonly speak on, but I think it's super relevant here. I once, you know, had the notion, the inclination, when the internet was early, you know, this is probably, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, probably 8 or 9. The internet, the dark web was something that people were talking about. And I was like, well, I need to know, what is this thing? What is this dark web thing? You know, is this hyperbole? Is this real? Is it not? You know? And so in order to do it, you have to get what's called a torrent browser, which I got. And I will tell you that it was the single worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was absolutely the most heartbreaking. I wished I'd never done it. I logged off, I got rid of the torrent browser, and I never went back because the things that you can imagine aren't even close to what's happening to some. And so if you're not aware and you're not taking action and you're not doing something, how the hell can you make a difference?
Right.
And I think that's incumbent upon all of us in some way or another because, I know it's a big world and it's a loud world and it's a lot of digital, but ultimately when you walk out the door, there's a person that lives beside you here and here more than likely. And just knowing, these few people just right beside you could make all the difference in the world in what happens to someone or how quick help can get to them or things like that, What do you guys hope to accomplish with this event?
We are just hoping that you're able to gather some information that maybe you didn't have before, and that you're better able to both recognize if a situation is dangerous, but if a situation happens to you, you're able to come back from that with resilience.
What have I tried to do a little homework, but what have I not asked that we should be talking about pertaining to this situation? I know I've got to have missed some things.
Well, we could be here for the next 10 hours because there is so much we could talk about, but I think the number one thing is look out for each other. At the end of the day, we're all people, and we all go through trauma. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
We're all going to go through it, and so just look out for each other, be there for each other, because, just saying, how are you doing today? That can make the difference between someone continuing and someone deciding this is too much for me.
It does sound silly, but it's so true. I mean, I don't know, sometime back, I think I had an experience checking out somewhere, and I felt like when I walked away that somehow the person was upset with me because I was very disengaged, and I made a decision that every person I encounter within reason, I'm going to try to interact with, particularly if they're service people, and because a million people come past them and dismiss them every day.
Right.
So I try to look them in the eye and in some way or another, make some amount of conversation. And I think I learn a lot more about my community and people in it that way.
Right.
And it's a really easy thing to do to just, it is and it isn't. I know for some of us, just talking to people seems so foreign and hard, but really if you just say, hi, how are you, or something, it can really make a big difference in somebody's life. Because a lot of times people, especially victims of violence, feel dismissed often.
Yes.
They feel unheard, they feel unseen. That is, one of the scarring things that happens commonly, I think, to assault victims. Am I correct about that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so just, letting them know they're seen and heard, something so small, so simple as a gesture like that could really make a huge difference to people.
Yeah.
Well, this is great, man. This is great. So tell people again with the Punishers, the way to get you guys and get involved and help out.
Well, I mean, honestly, anytime you see that patch, man, come up, shake a hand, say hi.
Yeah. Go
we're-
on Facebook
We
and
are
they can
everywhere.
find
You can
you.
go on Facebook. We can, punisherslemc.com. You can go check out our website.
So LEMC, Law Enforcement Motorcycle
Yes,
Club.
yes.
Yeah.
You can,
Can you ride a scooter?
I guess you could, but good luck keeping up.
Well, I'm just asking. They make some hot scooters now. I don't know.
Maybe if it has a turbo on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about those? What are the Can-Ams? Can you do the Can-Am?
Believe it or not, one of our chapter members, his wife has a slingshot. She rides behind.
I think
us.
those are cool.
Those are pretty nice.
Those are cool. That's like a motorcycle with a car body, right?
Yeah,
Basically.
pretty much.
They're pretty dope, though. I like them.
They're nice. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
but,
I mean, I think it'd be fun to drive. I didn't
Yeah,
say I want to
yeah.
buy one. I just think they're neat looking.
But Can-Am, I don't think I've seen anybody around
No.
in around our group that would ride a Can-Am.
Yeah.
Most of us are either Harleys.
It is hard to wear a leather vest on a Can-Am, isn't it?
I'm a Honda man.
Really?
Yeah, I got a Honda VTX 1300.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. Could you like change the branding, just put Harley on it?
No, I'm thinking about taking off all the branding that's on
Yeah,
it. Just leave
that's
it blank.
actually just leave it blank. Make
Leave it
people go,
blank.
"What kind of bike is that?" Bro?
Yes, actually, that's the whole purpose of what I'm wanting to do with it.
Well, that would be interesting.
Be
Maybe
like, man, what is that? Is
put
it a
some kind
Harley?
of
No.
random symbol you made up from AI on it. See if they can guess this brand. Do you know the brand? All right. Well, listen, let me not, again, please tell them one more time the best way, to tell them about the event, where and when, and then the best way to get involved with your organization, whether it's to donate or volunteer or whatever.
Sure. So we are having our Wellness Festival this Saturday, which is April 5th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. At the filling station in North Little Rock. And there you're going to find a lot of different resources from different organizations that are here in Arkansas to support you. And the way that you can really get involved is show up. Show up to our event, reach out to us. We love talking to you. So, yeah.
Okay, all right. And is it also, let's say that I have been, a person has been victimized, victim of sexual assault, but it went unreported, right?
Sure.
And so they're maybe they're not currently seeing someone, they've just been carrying this trauma on their own, right? And maybe not well,
Right.
maybe better than they think, but still not good, right?
Right.
What do you recommend for them? Who should they call first?
Absolutely. So there are different hotlines that exist. There is the national hotline for sexual violence that you can go to. It is 24/7. You can call or you can text. Also, if you're looking for some more near, resources, you can go to our website. So that's www.arkcasa.org. And on that page, there will be a list of crisis centers. And you'll be able to search by county where the closest crisis center is to you, where you can receive in-person service.
Okay, all right, so you have a lot of resources there. In addition to being part of yours, you've got links, resources, everything that you can self-educate or reach out and get that help you need. You don't have to keep carrying that, and you shouldn't keep carrying that by yourself, to be honest with you. It's not good. No matter your trauma, not just as sexual assault, although that certainly carries a higher bar than most, but you may have been abused in other ways, or you have other traumatic trauma that's occurred in your life. Don't be unresolved with that. That's what organizations like this exist for, is because you don't have to, and that's what they're saying. You don't have to do it by yourself. You don't have to keep trying to figure out how to make your day better when you don't have any ideas on it. You've run through the gamut, and you need some new ideas. You need new eyes. You need a new way to tackle life where you don't feel victimized every day you walk outside.
Right.
And that's what these people are here for. And so I hope that, you'll give them an opportunity, if you can get out to the filling station from 1 to 4, I think is what you said, and take part in this. Please do. Thank you, Brandon, for bringing Lacye and Sydney in to see us today and talk to us about this, because it's really important. And I'd love to have you guys back whenever you have events. Please feel free to come back and let's talk more about this. And maybe next time we can get into some more depth about some specific things and ways that other people can be involved too.
We can do
Would that be
that.
great? Okay, awesome. That is great. And Brandon, as you know, you're not welcome here, but no, I'm kidding. You're always welcome here, bro. You can come here anytime and hang out. Would love to see you more. I know you stay so busy because you do a lot of work with the Punishers.
Between work, kids, Punishers,
You work.
I'm busy.
You work with the VA. Basically, you run some stuff over there. A lot of stuff.
Well, I'm a carpenter with the VA. I do a lot
he runs
of,
stuff over there.
maintenance.
Yeah, he runs it. So yeah, I know you stay busy, but we'd love to have you here more, man. I really would.
I'll definitely try to make it more often.
All right, let's take a break, guys, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay. Thank you guys again so much for coming in.
Oh God, oh God, are you listening, cuz? Oh, I got a story for you. Oh God, this is how it was. I'm telling you it's all true. It's not a story that I wanted And I'm so sorry if I might seem unwell. The most beautiful devil, ooh, she looted my soul. Thought she was on level, now certain she's from below. Lord, can you tell me how to get back what's taken? Much sweat on my brow from all the brain raking. Got hoodwinked somehow with all that love making. My life on a plow, and I never had this much aching. If God is too busy to hear, got bigger fish to fry, is there an angel near? Maybe she can hear me cry. If not God nor angel either, maybe there's a holy being who won't appease her and can stop the bleeding. Lord, can you tell me how to get back what's taken? Much sweat on my brow from all the brain raking. Got hoodwinked somehow with all that love making. My life on a plow, and I never had this much aching. I'm telling you it's all true. I'm telling you it's all true. God, I hope you're not too busy to tell me what to do.
When I'm with you, everything gets hazy. You might imagine I'm a little bit crazy. It could be true that I'm not quite right, but you ran free in my head both day or night. The dam is broken, it's all flowing out. Maybe I've been spoken to. What could be your doubt? And I know I probably am, but there's just something magical about us. I know you understand. I'm running so I don't miss the bus. You make me wanna be a better man. It's just so damn loud in this big spinning world. I just need you. I just need you, girl. I'm not proud, but I'm damn sure real. It's just how you're making me feel. I'm not weak, but my knees are shaking. It's how I tell my heart's not faking. Never gonna stop giving you what I got. I never want you to feel a single raindrop. You'll never wonder if I'm gonna love you right, because I'm gonna be there every damn night. Oh, baby, I don't wanna make you feel sus, and I know me wanna be a better man. You make me, you make me, you made me. Ooh. Wanna be a better man.
All right. I hate that there weren't more seats where Amanda could have been involved. But next time they come in, I want to make sure that you're involved because, their entire mission, they've got that wellness festival coming up at the filling station. And their mission is to help, people, but particularly it's most of the time women overcoming sexual violence and preventing sexual violence and things like that. And I know you're passionate about that subject.
Very, very.
So it's really great that we were able to have them on.
Absolutely.
And, man, just, what gems of people they are to be out there doing that because, if they're not, I'm not out there doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not out there,
Right.
fighting for that. And not to say that that's my calling in life, but thank God that there are people who it is their calling in
Absolutely.
life. You know what I mean? It's so important to be thankful and grateful for people like that in our community because the unfortunate truth is more women than you'll ever understand are victims of sexual violence.
Absolutely. I watched a TikTok or a reel the other day. It may have even just been yesterday, but it's an auditorium. It's full of women, from what I could tell, and the speaker asked them all if they were physically able and or willing to stand up if they themselves or knew somebody who had been a victim of sexual assault. And pretty much every woman in the auditorium stood up, but then she said, please remain standing if you know that the person reported it. And almost the entire auditorium sat down.
Yeah, that is often the case. And I know this from 2 or 3 friends I've had firsthand, ladies who never told anybody, really. I mean, they might have told those closest to them, but no one else.
I never reported mine.
Yeah, it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking because, you feel unseen, unheard. You don't think you're going to be believed. You just feel
Because
like
it's what you see.
yeah, it's embarrassing. I mean, there's so many
Or you hear,
reasons.
I mean, it's definitely one of those things. Is, I know that we saw a lot of it during the elections, but it's like, watch what you're posting or the things that you're saying or whatever because there's somebody in your life that's had this experience and they're seeing that you wouldn't support them or whatever. And I mean, and that's real life. Like that's real life. Like I don't know. Anyways,
I hear
I'm
you.
grateful. I'm grateful for what they do.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They fill a need that is just.
Yeah, and we need more of that. A lot more of that.
It takes special people to be in those roles. I mean, nonprofit is hard as it is, but
Well, more than anything, I feel
that.
like look, all jokes aside, because I'm crazy as hell, but mental health is the biggest challenge we're facing in our country right now.
I agree.
It is the single greatest challenge. And so the more that we can be part of the solution, the better off we're all going to be. I mean, we have to stop, telling people they're weak because they have trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people,
Thank
a
you.
lot of people have trauma.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean you have to be a weak stick or anything. It just
No.
means you have trauma and you've got to find a way to work through that.
Yeah.
To piggyback off that, I think too, everybody's trauma is still trauma to them, no matter what.
No matter
Just
what you-
because your trauma
Exactly.
may be,
No.
you may have been through a
right.
lot of a worse situation, absolutely, doesn't mean that my trauma affected me less.
Exactly. Well, we think about and we talk about all the time about how we are all so unique and diverse and everybody has their own experience and you never know what somebody else is going through, et cetera, et cetera. You've got the aspects of nature and you've got the aspects of nurture and you have the aspects of socioeconomic and political
Yeah.
and religious and blah, 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 blah. Trauma is still trauma, like you said, no matter
Yeah.
if there's we're not going to sit
Look,
here and do degrees.
no, but-
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
My wife
yeah.
and I have had this conversation many times because, I've made no secret that, there was some violence and domestic violence and stuff in
Right.
my childhood,
Right.
My wife's situation physically was exponentially worse than mine.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that my trauma is not as
not
real
valid.
or doesn't feel similar to
Exactly.
that.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
so those are just facts. I mean,
Yeah.
look, trauma manifests itself in humans in a lot of ways. You may be angry, you may be sad, you may be manic. You know, there's so many different ways it shows up, and unresolved, it's just like a splinter in your mind.
Absolutely. There's a book called The Body Keeps the Score, and it speaks to this. I mean, it's our bodies physically
Yeah.
hold on to these things. It affects
and
your
our
cortisol levels, your
habits.
guts, your
Yeah.
nervous system, everything.
Our habits also, you know, are oftentimes direct results of trauma.
Absolutely.
You know, if the behaviors we participate in that are toxic and self-destructive are often a result of trauma.
Absolutely.
You know, if we eat too much, you know, I struggle that food was always my
Yep.
escape.
Yep.
You know, so I've always looked to food to put some endorphins or dopamine, whatever it
Absolutely.
is it does. And it made me feel happy for that period.
Absolutely.
And then I would hate myself later. But
Exactly.
still, you know what I'm
It's a
saying?
cycle. It is absolutely a cycle.
And it's something, you know, I don't mean to go from being a silly guy to a serious guy, but truly it is the thing we most need to start looking out for each other on.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't mean I'm not going to give you hell about things because that's
Right.
what people do. But for real, you know, if you got a friend, you know, check on them.
Absolutely, man.
Make sure they're okay. You
Yeah.
know, reach out to them once in a while and just say, hey, just thinking about you. You know?
Right.
And let them know that it's okay
That it
to
is
like,
okay.
you know,
Yeah,
that you're
hell
there
yeah,
for
it
them
is.
to
Well, you
talk
know,
about whatever.
It's
'Cause
such a stigma.
Vulnerability is the greatest source of power that we have, and
It is.
when I
of
can
them,
be when I can be vulnerable about what my life has been or the experiences I've had, I'm giving another individual the opportunity and the space to feel safe in sharing whatever, and there's power in that.
There is, and I'll tell you that I am not I'm not one of these. I'm a little more old school. Let me put it like that. But even saying that, I can honestly tell you that. Think about sons, dads, and sons. My son is much more inclined to go talk to mom and be vulnerable. And that's in spite of me spending my entire life demonstrating to him he's vulnerably safe with me. But the societal
Yep.
stigma
Yeah,
Yeah.
is that
for males is you don't show that
Yeah.
stuff.
absolutely.
You know, and we have to break that
Yeah.
because until you do, you're going to carry that trauma and you're not going to learn to resolve it. You
Well, and
just
how
keep
does it come
barreling
out,
through.
right? How does it come out? It comes out a lot of times
In
as
many
anger.
ways, it could
It
be
can come
sadness.
out, yeah. It can come out.
We've seen a whole new crop of
manic
depression.
depression. I mean, learning. I mean, oh my God, there's so many ways
Yeah.
that it affects
Look,
us
I-
individually and collectively.
I can
This
tell
is
you-
why I do what I do. I'm not going to
Right.
save the world by you coming in and breaking something, but maybe I give you an
better
opportunity
day.
to break through whatever that is
Yeah.
because it's a nut. That energy and that emotion has to go somewhere.
I'll tell you this: as much as domestic violence and otherwise violence played a part in trauma for me, as much or more was the bullying I faced as a
Yeah.
kid.
Yes.
Because I faced what most today would classify as very severe bullying.
Yeah.
You know, that changed over time because I got a little bigger and has had a voice. But I still to this day,
I do too.
still to this day, carry trauma from that.
I know.
More than anything.
I was
you know,
thinking
and-
yesterday.
and
I'll agree with
it's-
you. I'm
Yeah.
the same. So,
Yeah,
you know,
it's
Yeah.
really an interesting thing to think about. But if I listen to that critical inner voice of mine, that voice or those kids bullying me in school,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. You're not good enough. You're a dork.
Yep.
You're not cool. Nobody likes you.
Yep.
You know, all that. You're
Yeah.
fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You're never
You
going
know,
to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
that stuff, and
Yeah.
it plays in there even when you have to fight and work
Oh,
hard to
absolutely.
get rid of it. You know,
Yeah.
and so it's important, I think. You know, and again, I don't mean to be so touchy feely, but it
No,
is
but it's-
important
You can be
sometimes to
touchy feely
acknowledge.
when I'm here. We're a safe space, kind of ish when I'm
It is
here.
it is a good topic.
It is something important. You know, all the time it can't be, you know, macho time. All
Right.
the time it can't be
jokes and laughs
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
picking on each other.
most
Yeah,
of the
you know?
time, that's what it is for me,
Yeah.
and that's the way I like it. And
And you and I-
comedy and humor is how I learned to cope with my trauma for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
Comedy became my
Well,
therapist.
One of my favorite things is in the rooms is when we're sitting around talking about some of the most horrific, whether, traumatizing, toxic, or
Yeah.
embarrassing shit. And then it's like, we're just guffawing at it because it's like, oh my God, that
This
was
is-
real
yeah,
life.
it's
and
real,
here we
yeah.
are today. La 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 la.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're
Yeah.
just absolutely, and you never know, like, coming from that, where it's going to, because, look, back in my school years, in, middle school and in high school even, and that contributed me to dropping out midway through my 10th grade year, was I felt like school was a prison because of everything that I was going through
Yeah.
in that. But on that same token, like, now being 38 and behind a microphone announcing for wrestling events you could have never told 16-year-old me that I would be doing this.
No.
I was a dork.
Yeah.
I was, the
Yeah.
quiet kid in the back
Yeah.
of the class.
Yeah. No, I definitely, yeah.
You use it for, turn around, use it for inspiration. But,
You
and
try
fuel.
to. You try to. Tasha said,
It's a lot of amazing things that have been shared since we've gotten back on the air.
Yeah.
There's some hard stuff.
Tasha, I really love
I'm
you.
sorry.
I want you to know that. I do. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're fine, man.
I'm sorry.
No, take your time.
She said, I was severely bullied. I was called half-breed, N-word, fat, ugly. I wanted to kill myself at one point. My childhood was rough, but my mom was strong and protective and got me through it.
Shout out to all the mamas.
Everybody.
Absolutely.
Shout out.
That had that.
Whatever parent
Yeah,
it was.
whatever.
Because I know some folks. I've known some of the best dads. The dads that do the work of mom and dad, and I've known the moms, and I've had that mom. And shout out to the parents that kept us safe and kept us strong, and even put a boot in our ass to get us back to school when we didn't want to go.
Yeah, right?
Because
Yeah.
I know I had to suit up and show up when I didn't want to, but I'm grateful for that.
No, sometimes the push,
Because I've been able to do that with mine.
you got to go through
You
it to get through it.
You have to.
You do.
There's no way around it. You have to go through it.
You do. You do.
I mean,
All right.
Not this.
I
shit,
have,
but bless
now,
all of you.
now I feel super vulnerable.
No, man, no. Like,
So now I got to go. No, don't hand me that damn thing.
hey, real quick, I do want to
Yeah.
give a shout out to Victor Cooper.
Oh, what up, Victor?
He commented on and said, man, he loves the show, Patrick
Thank
and the
you, man.
people.
Love all y'all.
Brandon Jacks, of course, said,
Victor's awesome. He came in the
Love
other day
Victor.
with Fat Boy Yo, and he
was
was
a
like
great
the
show.
Master P of Little Rock, and man, what a riot
That
he
was
is.
a hilarious show.
It was.
That was a
That
really
was-
good
it
show.
was
I
a
was
great
grateful that
show.
I was able to catch that, and they were fantastic on the mic and everything,
Yeah, they
and
were so
sharing
much
all
fun.
of it.
So much fun. Shout out to
Hey,
Victor and Fat Boy Yo.
707-501.
Hello.
Wendy says she's home for the day at least, which I didn't even know
Hey,
she was coming home.
Good,
so.
good. You got home
tits.
just in time for severe weather.
Right? Yeah, y'all seriously, I know
Yeah.
I know you say there's not going to be any tornadoes and
Everybody
thank
just
you,
be
but
careful.
be weather aware. It
be
sounds like
aware.
it's
Yeah.
pretty serious today.
Can I put something out there real quick?
Yeah, of course you can.
So, if there's anybody out there looking for to make some extra cash, some evening hours, I am in need of some help on Friday and Saturday nights at the break room.
Oh, okay.
From like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening till probably 9, 10. I've lost all of my help, and so I just need, and for whatever reasons it is, God never closes the door without opening a window.
Right.
Well,
or
hey, somebody's
whatever.
listening right now that
Yeah.
needs that extra
Yeah,
money on the weekend.
absolutely. And I mean, and it is, it is labor intensive. You got to be able to lift. You got to be able to move.
It's not a
follow
sit-at-a-desk
directions.
job. You're going to
It's
be
not.
active.
Yeah, you will sit for a little bit, but I mean, it's movement, and I need, and you got to be cool.
Yeah.
Hey,
You got to be cool.
If I
You
can
know what I mean?
I was going to say, if I can share something too here real
Wink,
quick.
wink, nudge, nudge.
All avenues are set. We've got our security officer. We've got
what's up.
Hell
the
yeah.
building. We've got the venue. The match cards and
It's
everything went up
going
yesterday.
down.
May 3rd. It is set.
That's what's up.
Everything finally.
That is so amazing.
And shout out to everybody because we were talking about me retiring. And yeah, last week my sitter had to step down. She said, "Hey, look, I've had a change in work schedule. I can't watch Jackson
Yeah.
anymore." And understood, and so I was trying to find somebody, couldn't find anybody. So thank you to everybody that stepped up, and I've just been getting constant messages of, hey man, glad it all worked out, glad to see you on the show.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Man, it is awesome, and couldn't work with better people. Couldn't be more excited with the people that are coming on this show, and mostly for you. You guys out there are awesome. Let me make mention before we go that if you go to BANTX today, BANTX, put in the promo code PATP25, and you'll get 25% off of the botanical alchemy nutraceutical CBD, which is sublingual and 80% absorption. It's very good.
It's tits.
Inflammation, anxiety, they've got different formulas. They'll custom blend for you. Go to BANTX.com. And also go see Theron over at Stone's Throw today on East 9th Street. Stone's Throw Brewing is a wonderful place. If you like beer on tap, they got 14 of them today. Go get you a beer on tap. They're good folks. You've met him on the show. He comes in all the time. He's been part of our community a long time. For God's sake, quit being a commercial jet pilot just to make beer for you. So
Wow.
go see him today.
I wish
And
I was that cool.
I know, right? And me too. And then finally, listen, if you could follow our YouTube, like us and follow us on YouTube, that would be really helpful. We're, I think, about 65 from the number we need. So please like, share YouTube. I'm putting the songs up there with lyric videos now.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a lot of things for you to see over there.
And Clapper, keep on clapping on.
That's right, baby. All right, guys, we will see you next time.
Bye.
Take care.